Oh, well, everybody know who I want next. I want Terrence Crawford next.
You're going to make that happen?
Huh?
You're going to make that happen?
Oh, definitely. That's the fight that I want. That's the fight everybody else want. Like I said, I'm going to get these straps that I'm going to go over there and take his shit too.
All right. Errol, congratulations. Terrific fight this evening.
Thank you, man. Now, strap season, y'all know what time it is, baby. Terrence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt.
All right.
I'm not catching fades anymore. Gotta keep my hands clean when they come for the ball. Keep it smooth like a dawn, making moves in the dark. Cause I learned how to swim in the pool full of sharks. Now they coaches, cause they can't read all his motions. How the kid never switch codes, but he codes with focus. Staring down your team with a frozen, ice cold look that can end the summer solstice. Cause I'm more like the top dog. Keep on running game in the gang will accost y'all. I be calling plays from a plane while I'm off court. But we ain't the same, you a lame, I'm a mob star. Actually, I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athlete. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pull strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode. I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, Godfather. I'm the kingpin. They know I'm a dog and a beast, man. Yeah, I keep the peace with a peace, man. I ain't got no time for a piece, man. Why would I respond to a pawn? I'm the... Hold up.
If I let my dogs off the leash, they do my work to get out of Dodge while they eat. Honestly, they can smell the blood and the beef, and they don't leave anything behind after eating.
I can see you soft, ever thought about retreating. If you never have, then they'll give you a reason. Better watch your tone, lose your bass when you speaking. Underneath the mask is the wrath of a... When you learn how to smile in their face, then go cutthroat. Then they want to call you a con when the blood cold. I remember starving while y'all had a truckload. Now I'm with the mob with the call and the gusto. I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athlete. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pull strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode. I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, Godfather. I'm the kingpin.
What's going on, my people? What's happening with y'all out there? I know y'all been listening to all the capping that's been going on. What's going on, Keith Perry? What's going on, Hustler Holmes in the building? What's going on, Hustler Holmes, man? Y'all subscribe to Hustler Holmes. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I'm like listening to Tim Bradley and you know what I'm saying, watching Blue Blood push all these stupid ass narratives trying to protect Terrence Crawford. At this point, man, it's just like, is boxing real, man? It's like on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Who's going to keep it real out here for all the boxing fans? You know, one thing I realized was, you know, I didn't realize how much we depended on just a few people to tell the truth to what's happening in boxing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know what I'm saying? Blue Blood was almost like a damn reporter up in this shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Somebody who's going to investigate and tell you the truth. Now he's sold out and shit. You know what I'm saying? He's like the worst thing that ever happened to boxing, bro. Pushing all these fake ass narratives, you know what I'm saying, about Tank Davis and goddamn, you know, Errol Spence Jr. and the PBC. All this shit is just ugly, 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 man. And it just turns you off from boxing, man. You know, I've been out here working, chasing these loads and trying to get work in, you know. But what's going on, TZ Frank? What's going on? So I'm like looking at Bradley, you know what I'm saying? He's just you know what I'm saying? He's just up for saying any old fuck shit he can about EJ. He was saying EJ is running from Terrence Crawford. You know, anytime Errol Spence Jr. turned his back, when he tries to make the fight, you know what I'm saying, they try to make it hard to make the fight. When he turned his back, then they start pushing forward and saying they want to fight. When this man tied up, when they know he's tied up with a fight with Keith Thurman, right? So every move Errol Spence Jr. make, they try to you know what I'm saying, make all this perception like this man is avoiding everybody in boxing. You know what I'm saying? No matter which way he go, you know what I'm saying, he's ducking somebody, right? So the shit is just it's just stupid, man. It's like it don't make no sense. There's only one guy that's trying to make the best fights, and they're trying to destroy that whole premise where you got to fight the best guy in your division, and we see that going on. You know what I'm saying, with Canelo. He's fighting John Ryder. Why in the fuck would Canelo status, with his status, being undisputed at 168, why the fuck would he be fighting a fucking John Ryder? That shit don't make no sense, but yet they'll make it make sense, you know what I'm saying, for somebody like Canelo, right? Because he's special, right? So now they're talking about, Bivol in the second fight, if he dropped down to 168, you know what I'm saying, that he's got a criteria that he's got to meet to be able to beat um, Canelo Alvarez. I was reading an article and they were saying, he's got to be, what I'm saying, as aggressive as he was in the first. He's got to throw more combinations. You know what I'm saying? He's got to do all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just beat Canelo ass the way he did in the first fight, right? So they setting up. That's what they do to set up the premise for to rob this man. Because if Canelo go out there have another bad fucking performance, you know what I'm saying? If they rob the man, then they've already set the tone for everything. So you get tired of seeing that kind of bullshit in boxing, right? Nobody ever tells the fucking truth, especially that stupid ass Tim Bradley, who would just say anything, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was Errol Spence Jr. that drove his ass into retirement, and he just can't keep it real about that shit. And it's like the shit get on your nerves, bro. To always hear him saying some hateful shit, and that's totally acceptable in boxing now. That hey, you wouldn't fight this man, but you got everything in the world to say something about the dudes that are great at the PPC. He even said that Tank Davis, you know what I'm saying, he went off on some personal, rant about he don't like what Tank does, you know what I'm saying, outside the ring, and he even spoke on that personal shit. I was like, this dude is totally despicable, man. We got too many people around boxing that's willing to say some off-brand shit, man. And I'm so tired of that shit, man. These niggas have no integrity. They have no honor as men because, we talking about a sport, bro, and they're trying to get people to hate you on a personal level. And that's just unacceptable to me, you know what I'm saying? And they blur the lines. Tim Bradley, he just wants to be relevant, right? So if you saying some old off the wall shit, like he said about EJ and about Tank, then you know what I'm saying? It's like all of a sudden all eyes on me, right? And that, you don't want that kind of publicity, you know. I don't care. I don't care. I don't think you should put your hands on women. The lady said she lied, bro. You know what I'm saying? Tank girl said she lied, and Tank, he said he never put his hands on her. So how is he gonna carry on his own narrative, you know what I'm saying, and try to destroy this man's reputation, you know what I'm saying? Because stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, it's beyond boxing because it could destroy your ability to make money in the future, you know what I'm saying, telling lies on people. They're trying to get this domestic violence shit to stick onto Tank. And I just think that shit is totally fucking despicable, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's a young man. He's got a long way to go in boxing, you know what I'm saying, to make money. And here's Tim Bradley trying to spread this shit about what happened, this personal, account of what happened between Tank and his old lady, right? And he just adding on. He's trying to throw gasoline on the fire, right? By making all these assertions and shit, you know what I'm saying? Even though the lady recanted everything, you know what I'm saying? He didn't mention that shit. So, this is the kind of dirty ass shit that I get tired of hearing, man. I don't want to see this in boxing. And then when you add on Blue Blood, who's always trying to spin shit, you know what I'm saying, over there. I've never seen, I mean, it's just weird to see this dude, you know what I'm saying, just go off like this, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, just try to make up and cover up. I don't Terrence Crawford ain't even that big in boxing, you know what I'm saying, for him to be doing this shit. I understand that they you know what I'm saying, they kind of like work for the same team or whatever, but you can do it in a way that's professional. You could do it in a way that don't that's not lying. He totally twisted up. And what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, I'm just kind of like fucking pissed off about it. Stephen Espinosa came out and he just kind of went over why the fight didn't get made. So basically, they was on the edge of a deal, but it took them so long because Terrence Crawford took so long. He was stretching it out. He was stalling, and they don't want to mention that shit. You know, saying that this man, what's going on, Don Sapansky? Thank you for that 149, that $1.49 super sticker. You know, what's going on, Yolanda? I know it's been a while. I see you out there, Queen. And Jeff R and Cash Crypto and Michael, how you say it, Scruggs. And so yeah, man. So he kind of explained it a little bit about how, you know, they were going back and forth, you know what I'm saying, with the information. So basically he was sent the contract. It's just Terrence Crawford. See, just like he made that deal with David Avenesian, right? That happened real quick. But see, when it came to Errol Spence Jr., he started making all these weird demands and all this kind of shit. Why didn't he do that with David Avenesian? You know what I'm saying? That's because David Avenesian was somebody he knew he could go in there and destroy, right? But since he, you know, is Errol Spence Jr., you know what I'm saying? You know, he wants to go in there and fuck up the negotiations so he could get all those mandos, you know what I'm saying, to drown them out so the fight don't happen. And that's how I see it. I think Terrence Crawford knew that the mandos, you know what I'm saying, was just waiting, you know what I'm saying, and gave Errol Spence Jr. enough time to make this fight. And I think Terrence Crawford knew all he had to do was fuck up the negotiations and he can move on and not have to face Errol Spence Jr. I don't understand why people just don't accept that as the truth. They're trying to become lawyers and all this other crazy shit, you know what I'm saying, trying to cover for this man. And clearly this man do not want to fight. You know what I'm saying? You do not walk away from a mega $1 million fight to become undisputed a second time, you know what I'm saying, just to go fight a fucking David Avenesian to make a few $1 million, right? When you could have made all that in one fucking fight and retired if that's what you want to do. Want to lose, you even could have had two fights. So, you know, none of it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? They just putting a lot of bullshit out there, you know what I'm saying? His fans, Terrence Crawford fans. Espinoza told, he said, hey man, the man took too much time, you know what I'm saying, he disappeared. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ever says that part of it. All they're trying to say is the PBC took too much time to meet Crawford demands. And what demands are those? You know what I'm saying? Transparency. Nigga, you don't sell enough pay-per-views, you know what I'm saying, to get transparency on the bubblegum wrap. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't even be reading that information on the inside of that. So it's like, bro, you know, you trying to make stupid ass demands because you know, I mean, you know these things are unreasonable, right? I mean, you the B side, right? So nobody's talking about that, right? Except for people who want to see the fight. And Terrence Crawford knew what he was doing. He was throwing a whole bunch of bullshit out there and see what stick, right? Trying to get up out of this fight. Because I don't think Terrence Crawford at this age can fight Errol Spence Jr. And I think he knows that, and he's not going to give Errol Spence Jr. the opportunity to become undisputed. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the whole mission for Terrence Crawford is to keep Errol Spence Jr. from having that accolade and making him move on. But yet, in the eyes of the public, he want the perception that, you know what I'm saying, it was Errol Spence Jr. who fucked up the fight, and the shit don't make no sense, right? So we're right back at square one. So why would Errol Spence Jr. spin the block on some bullshit and miss more of his prime, you know what I'm saying, fucking with Terrence Crawford? Now that I'm glad that Errol Spence Jr. is moving forward, and he's going to be fighting Keith Thurman in May. I think that's the best move, and I think he should stay up at 154. As bad as I want to see the Terrence Crawford fight, the dude is too full of shit, man. Him and his fans. You know, he can never get a straight answer. You know what I'm saying? These niggas are never truthful about anything they talk about. You know what I'm saying? They always talking about past bullshit that already been debunked. Nobody got time for that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Life is moving on. It's 2023. It's a whole nother goddamn year, and this dude is still full of shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he want to fight after the man been in a damn car accident. After the man been pushing for the fight, and you walk away and fight a whole nother nigga. Here you go now, talk about you want to fight. Hey, nobody got time for Terrence Crawford. What's going on, Hustler Holmes? I just want to get that ran off.
Yeah. Hey, you know, I feel you. I agree.
And
It's just,
what you think? You see how they trying to set up Bivol? You see how the
man,
media, how they trying to say he's got to throw more combinations. He's got to be more. He's got to come forward to win the
yeah.
fight. I'm like, bro. I mean, we've been watching boxing too long to not see this play, right?
But
Uh,
the fan, in my very last video, I said this: the fans is participating, bro. Like it's at this point, it's because if you think about it, it's people that know boxing deliberately goddamn saying bullshit and agreeing to bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Just like, like it's the fans, the hardcore fans, and the casual fans are participating in the buffoonery. So all the people that's like real motherfuckers that really stand on shit, that want shit to be on the up and up, we're not gonna win. We're not gonna
right,
win because everybody participating in the bullshit. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like right before you don't even know. I stopped watching a lot of channels, my nigga. Like on some real shit. Like I'm
Hmm.
down to about 3 channels now, my nigga. Like I used to fucking watch mad channels because I be listening at work. But ever since, man, this Crawford shit, bro, this shit turned niggas into hoes, man. I don't know why or how. You know what I'm saying?
You're
'Cause I
right.
like both fighters. I like both fighters. You know what I'm saying? It just turned like I really got to see the real like who people are, bro. Like this shit is weird, bro. This shit is weird.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I don't care how tied you are to a fighter. That fight ain't gonna make you lie about what you know what's going on. And it's just weird that Tim Bradley, you know what I'm saying, because he's insignificant right now, you know what I'm saying? I think he does it for attention, you know what I'm saying? I think he does it for clout, you know what I'm saying, to put his 2 cents in. It's right now it's big to talk about Errol Spence Jr. or make the PBC look like they're corrupt or some shit. They've been really trying. They've been attacked for a while since they've been on top with all the fighters. But my thing is, it should be simple for people to see that the PBC is putting on they're trying to get the best to fight the best. And if you're
Even
not,
with that, even
hmm
with that, even with that, what you saying right now, you and I both know that PBC is literally putting on the best shows. We both know this. Everybody that knows anything about boxing can see that PBC is putting on the best shows, but these niggas is deliberately participating in just straight slander. Like this some hoe shit, bro. This some hoe
yeah,
shit.
and that's what like really what I'm saying that's cutting across. What I'm saying, my goat is because niggas know they lying. What I'm saying? It's like,
Right.
bro, y'all grown as hell out here, acting like children and shit. What I'm saying? It's like almost like acting like a 3-year old or a 6-year old is the thing now. What I'm saying? Just deny fucking reality and just make up a damn narrative. What I'm saying? And that's acceptable. What I'm saying? Somebody got to be based in truth. Something's got to be. What I'm saying? It's got to be based on the truth, bro. And these dudes, they have no problem. They coming up with channels now that's based on lies and shit.
Or
That's
channels that was based on truths switched over and now is on some fucking bullshit. Like nigga, I watched this nigga. I don't really want to drop no names on your channel. I watched this channel that I used to watch every day because these niggas are usually fair. You know, and ever since Errol announced the Keith Thurman fight, is like them niggas switch hard. You hear when he put up that Avanesian fight, you heard them dudes say, yeah, let him fight. He'd be out of the ring for a year. Let him fight Avanesian. Word. Okay. Even though we know that's a bullshit ass fight, even though nobody gonna win, you know what I'm saying? Let him have it. And then Earl be in the same exact situation, right? If Earl, let's say Earl don't fight Keith Thurman, and these niggas drag out the damn negotiation with Terrence Crawford to, let's say, April, that'll put Earl in the exact spot Terrence Crawford was in. That'll put when Earl fight last? January, February, March, April, right? April.
Mm-hmm.
That'll put him out for a year. So how can you say Bud could take the Avenesian fight because he'd be out the ring for a year and then turn around and be like, Errol should spin the block. Nah, Errol need a tune-up now. Errol need a fight so he won't be out the ring for a damn near a year. You know what I'm saying? That's what I don't get. I don't get how niggas be just falsing up like that. Like the shit bullshit.
Yeah, it is. And my thing is, it's all an act on. I think it's an act on Terrence Crawford part. Because, like I said, every time, Errol Spence Jr. turned his back to go to do something else, here he come. When Errol Spence Jr. stepped to him, then all of a sudden everything's wrong. There's something fucked up. The deal is bad. He puts out all these excuses and all this propaganda out to feed red meat to his people because he know they want to believe anything that's against the PBC or Errol Spence Jr. They just put shit out there, right? And Earl, he's been saying all he wants is to fight Terrence Crawford at 147. You know what I'm saying? But that man his whole deal is to keep Errol Spence Jr. from having that opportunity. And if you look at it from that point of view, nothing's ever going to pop off. Even though, he got a tune up, he wants to try to catch Errol Spence Jr. at an advantage if he do fight him. I don't think he wants to fight a 100% Errol Spence Jr. He wants to fight a diminished Errol Spence Jr. if he do fight him. You know what I'm saying? Something like Canelo, like when Canelo look for, fights, he wants to fight the weakest, he want to fight you at your worst, not at your best. And then he want to put in all these stipulations, weight rehydration clauses and all this stuff. It's like, whatever happened to wanting to fight your opponent when they're at their best, bro? That's how you know that you're a champion. And looking at Terrence Crawford, he ain't a real champion, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's always scheming on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? All the best fights when that could be made, he's always had a problem making those fights. You know what I'm saying? And he wants everybody to think that, it's some other reason. No, it's your ass, bro. It's your ass. You don't want to fight the best dudes. Anytime somebody can hang with you in the ring, it's gonna be a problem in negotiations, bro. And he think people don't see that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm so biased to black fighters. I don't even pay attention to Canelo, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because Canelo, for some reason, bro, like ever since he lost to Floyd Mayweather, these niggas been like really like mapping this nigga career out. Like if you look at this undisputed run, Canelo has the weakest undisputed run ever, even weaker than Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Like my nigga, like if you look at how can you have an undisputed run of Euro bumps? How do you line up the amount of think about them niggas lining this up. Think about the Billy Joe Saunders fight. Billy Joe Saunders was literally in talks to fight Demetrius Andrade, like literally. And he was gonna fight Demetrius Andrade, and then just boom, all of a sudden he fucking fails a drug test and then get a Canelo fight. It's a setup, bro. That shit.
It Canelo, is, and I've been saying that for years that Canelo done made sure that Demetrius Andrade didn't get a shot against what's his name, Sanders, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They made sure that didn't happen because Canelo wouldn't be able to go that run if let's say Demetrius Andrade had beat Sanders, right? Then Canelo wouldn't have never been undisputed because he didn't want to fight Demetrius Andrade. So his team made sure they cleared the path. And that's what I'm saying. And then they also, allowed, Mauricio Suleiman, saying he gave he gave Canelo the opportunity to win 2 belts, bro. You know what I'm saying? By fighting what's his name? Anvil or whatever the fuck his name is, sparring partner. So that, like you said, that's the weakest undisputed run, but yet they hold their head up with pride like Canelo really, really earned undisputed, and he didn't because he knew when he grabbed that belt from David Avenesian, he didn't fight David Avenesian, bro.
But now look, it's even.
I mean, not David Avenesian. I'm talking about David Avenesian. David,
you talking about year there? You talking about year there? It's even big dog. It's even deeper than that. These niggas been talking about this nigga fighting John Ryder even before this nigga fought Bevo, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I said that a long time ago.
Right?
I told you he was gonna fight John Ryder because he was the weakest. He was the weakest path of resistance. You know what I'm saying?
And now look how it's set up. The nigga get the quote unquote injury. He get the fucking surgery. Now it seems like a good fight to take off an injury. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they're really legitly mapping this nigga's career out, bro. Like, and I just, I'm not a hater, so I mean, play the game. I feel like if Canelo can play the game, then Tank Davis can play the game.
But even more than that, this dude was psychologically damaged to that loss to Bivol. So they knew he wasn't in no mental shape to fight no real fight. It's nothing but killers around him. So, you know what I'm saying? Mentally, you see him drinking and singing and all that dumbass shit. You know what I'm saying?
Bivol gonna beat the fuck out. Bivol gonna knock Canelo out, bro.
I hope so. I hope so. And I hope, we gotta purge boxing again. So we just get the fighters who really want to, show that they want to be the champions, win or lose. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of these propped up people, you know what I'm saying, that's put on an island so nobody can touch them, and then they're celebrated as heroes and shit, man. Nobody got time for that.
That's why I want Earl to spin the block, bro. That's why I want Earl to spin the block. I want Earl to spin the block.
I don't think it's gonna happen, bro.
I want Crawford head on a fucking pike, B. 3 niggas I want a head on a pike. I want that Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. I want that head on that pike. I want that Crawford head on that pike, and I want that Javonna Davis head on that motherfucking pike, bro.
Man,
against Devin Haney. I want them 3 heads, bro.
Well, with Tank's situation, man,
and
Tank,
I like all them niggas.
Well, with Tank's situation, because you already see Ryan Garcia doing his thing, right? You see Oscar De La Hoya came out and talking about, saying, send the contract now, it ain't no fight, and more. Here we go with the bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Because we knew it was too good to be true. We know ain't no goddamn way that they're gonna put Ryan Garcia in the ring, and I said that, you know what I'm saying? I said that, to put him in there with Tank. He seen what Tank did to Garcia, right? Hector Garcia, and Ryan Garcia ain't on that level, bro. They want him to put him in there with these little frog ass niggas like Togel, and these dudes, you know what I'm saying? They're not significant to the division, right? Tank is on a whole nother level than Ryan Garcia. They know that, but they don't want to match up the best versus the best. That's Oscar Garcia. That's Oscar Garcia. That's Oscar De La Hoya cash cow right now. So if you go out there and knock out Ryan, and the thing is, Ryan isn't even a real champion or shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They're just trying to build him on some social media shit and trying to sell his looks instead of what he do in the ring. But he's go ahead.
But Ryan does have a puncher's chance, bro. Y'all, people acting like Ryan Garcia don't got no chance of beating Tank. Like what fights do Tank got that put him way ahead of fucking Ryan Garcia though?
Shit, all of them. Shit, Ryan, who the fuck did he fight?
No, Ryan haven't fought nobody, and Tank have. But I'm just saying, like, if you look at them niggas in the ring, right? All right, you look at what gives Tank trouble. All right, Tank height, even though he's always a small nigga, and he has mastered fighting tall motherfuckers. We both can agree that Tank has mastered fighting tall people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's still he still can't. He still got to use his IQ to He still got to use his IQ to get in. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he's just storming through these tall niggas. You know what I'm saying? It take him a couple rounds. All right. If you want to look at the good things Ryan has a good jab. Ryan has a good lead hook. He has good reflexes, and he is a good counterpuncher, right? Tank has to sell at some point to get in on Ryan. And at the point where he has to sell, he could catch Ryan. But Ryan has too many holes in his defense. Everybody's too worried about Ryan's defense, which I believe Tank is going to knock Ryan out. But we're not going to sit here and pretend like Ryan has absolutely no chance of beating Tank.
Well, it ain't that people are pretending that Ryan has no chance, because I don't give a shit about Ryan Garcia.
Me either.
You know what I'm saying? And this is why. You know what I'm saying? Because his attitude towards boxing, he's always pulling out of fights and look like he's going to pull out of this fight. You know what I'm saying? So as far as his puncher's chance, I gives a damn about it. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to go through heaven and hell to get this man in the ring to fight real competition, right? So on that alone, right there, that frustration of fucking with his boxing attitude, his boxing spirit, you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't care about his damn puncher's chance. He don't get in the ring. He don't get in the ring enough, you know what I'm saying, to really give him credit. You know what I'm saying? Anytime he goes towards the fight, you know, everybody's giving him all these opportunities and shit. Oh, Ryan can fight. Ryan can fight. Well, when the fuck is Ryan gonna fight? When is he? Ryan, he got power and shit. You know what I'm saying? Against who? You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, this man fought. His last great fight was Luke Campbell, who wasn't shit.
Javier
You know what I'm saying?
Fortuna.
You know what I'm saying? Javier, I mean, I'm just saying that the biggest name he fought was Luke Campbell, and he wasn't shit, bro. So you know what I'm saying? He's not.
Hold on, no. So Luke Campbell is a bigger name than Javier Fortuna?
Yeah.
Wasn't Javier Fortuna a champion?
Yeah, but who remembers that?
I
understand what you're saying, but when you think about it, who do you think as far as, you know, when you're thinking about his entire career, do you think is Javier Fortuna is a bigger threat than Luke Campbell was? And just in your mind,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Let me get this off. Let me get this off. For Fortuna, you saw what he looked like, right?
Yeah.
You saw what he looked like. He looked like shit in the ring, right?
Definitely.
So you saw what Luke Campbell looked like in the ring. He knocked Ryan Garcia down, right?
Yeah.
Right? Did Fortuna look like he have a chance in that damn fight?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
But listen, look at it from where I'm coming from.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He's fighting dudes that's on the last of their career, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's fighting weakened dudes who can't beat him in the ring. He's gonna jump from that to Tank Davis. You know what I'm saying? That's a big leap.
It's exactly like the Boots leap to goddamn motherfucking Crawford and Spence. It's exactly the same. It's the exact same. Same.
But my man, the thing with Boots can really, he's showing you he can knock motherfuckers out.
Against
I mean, he's
who?
fighting. He's
against who?
Let me finish, bro. You know what I'm saying? Jerron, I mean, he did fight the same opponents that Terrence Crawford fought, right? You know what I'm saying? I think Lipinets is a better opponent than Fortuna, right?
No.
What?
Man,
you don't think Lipinets is a better opponent than the one who beat Lamont Peterson?
Brother, listen. Lipinets have no, you're right. I forgot Lipinets at 140. I'm sorry. My bad. Yeah, you're right. Never mind. You're right.
So, you know,
you're right.
Just think about it. He fought better competition, bro.
I'm gonna make Lipinets even to Javier Fortuna. Because Fortuna has good wins.
Hell no, man.
Javier, all right. Boots fought Lipinets on the ass end of his career after he was washed. He had already got washed by several people, right? So Ryan Garcia fought Javier Fortuna on the ass end of his career when he was washed. Because at one point in time, Javier Fortuna was a top nigga.
My thing is, this is all I'm saying. Is Ryan Garcia is no damn Boots Sanders, bro.
Ryan Garcia, brother.
I ain't got you doing shit. You doing that on your own. You out there on your own with that
I'm
bullshit.
just saying Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis is a 50-50 fight, bro. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying. It's a 50-50 fight.
Okay. I mean, I hear what you're saying.
Even though I do agree with you. Ryan Garcia ain't fought nobody. I think Ryan Garcia is a media creation.
I don't think he got the mindset, bro.
No, I agree with you too. I think this Tank Davis is his
you got one fighter out here knocking out motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? You got one fighter out here that really want to get into the ring, and he's out here fighting folks, and you got the other one who's backing out of fights and fighting non-existent motherfuckers. You know what I'm
Who
saying?
really
Ryan
want to get in the
Garcia.
ring? Who really want to get in the ring? And fight
Tank just had a fight. He just had.
Ain't fighting the best niggas though.
He just had a fight, bro. He's not Devin. You're not gonna love Tank until he fight Devin.
That's because he the champion. He the best. He the champion.
Wait a minute. He ain't no damn real. He ain't no.
Oh my fucking god!
Look here. Devin got all the fucking belts, bro.
Devin beat the fucking champion.
Devin got
beat
all
the fucking unified champion, bro.
What are we talking about right now,
nigga? How can you sit here and say Tank fighting people and discredit the nigga who beat the unified champion, who beat the unified champion, who beat the unified champion?
Who is discrediting? What are you talking about? Who is discrediting?
Devin Haney. What?
I'm not. When did I say anything about Devin or against Devin?
It was your tone, my nigga.
Oh, come on, man. Y'all can't be.
You already know I'm biased for Dev, bro.
No, what I'm saying is Tank is active. All them dudes active. You know what I'm saying? They active. They fighting. Ryan Garcia is not. No, I don't understand why motherfuckers be giving Ryan Garcia all this credit when he's not showing us shit. You know what I'm saying? He's not showing us that he can compete with them dudes. He should have fought at least one or three of them. You know what I'm saying? That's where he's going to get his respect. Not fighting the Togles of the world, not fighting the washed up Fortunas of the world. He's not going to get any credit for that shit.
But y'all give Boots credit though. Y'all give Boots credit for doing the exact same thing. What you mean? Give Boots credit? Boots has the same resume as Ryan Garcia, bro.
Boots is nowhere near Ryan Garcia.
Boots have not even fought a former champion, my nigga.
Bro, that don't fucking matter. He's going up the ladder. Look, he's going up the ladder fighting who's there in that division.
He number two. But
what does that got to do with what I'm saying?
But
you know what I'm saying? The dude fought Thomas Delorme, right? He fought Lipinets. He fought
who was washed.
Bro, why are you doing that? I mean, the man is. Bro. Can you just stop over talking me and let me get my points out?
I'm sorry.
Okay, so the man is now the IBF interim champion, right? So now he's in line. Okay, who else could he fight? You know what I'm saying? That would prove right there in that division, right? 147. Who else could he fight? You know what I'm saying? For you to say, okay, he fought somebody. You know what I'm saying? At 147. Who could he fight at that division right now?
I agree with what you're saying, right? I agree with what you're saying, but you're not hearing what I'm saying for the simple fact
but I mean, you keep changing the. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to prove my points and stuff, but you keep throwing me off with.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying to you that the facts are Boots ain't fighting nobody. I agree that it ain't nobody.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that it's nobody there for him to fight, bro. There's nobody there for him to fight. If it was
I agree, and I'm agreeing with you, my nigga. But the facts are.
But that ain't the same as Ryan Garcia. He got plenty of people to fight.
Yeah,
he got plenty of people to fight.
He does have plenty of people. I'm not saying they're in the same position because one nigga's getting ducked and one nigga everybody and their mama want to fight. Those aren't. I'm not saying they're in the same position, but
that's all it is.
But the facts are the people that they've got in the ring with. The people that actually agreed to fight them or the people that he agreed to fight are of the same ilk.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. The facts are the people that got in the ring with
I'll give you just for the sake of, not going down that rabbit hole, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'll agree with that. Okay. So, they haven't fought the best
I'm not saying that Boots not trying to fight nobody. I'm not saying that Boots got the same attitude as Ryan Garcia. We both know that's false.
Right.
Boots
that's why I say you can't mention them as the same. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying their opposition is the same, brother. I'm not talking about them personally.
Well,
the people that's been in the ring to fight them, whether it's voluntarily fighting them or whether it's them niggas not being, whether it's the old niggas ducking them, because we know the old champions is ducking Boots. We do know that. But the fact is, the niggas that's agreeing to get in the ring with Boots is of the same level of competition as Ryan Garcia. So this is why I stopped listening to people channels, because people just cannot even. They're like for a boxer cloud their judgment of what's actually happening. You know what I'm saying? This is what's going on in boxing.
Well, let me ask you this. You see Oscar De La Hoya, backing out of this shit, right?
Definitely.
So, I mean, you didn't think this was going to happen? I mean, I foreseen this, you know what I'm saying?
It's already happened before.
Right. And that's what I'm saying, bro. That's exactly what the fuck I'm saying. I'm just like, bro, it's like we tired of this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia need to get into the mix, or he just need to take his ass on somewhere, bro. Nobody got time, you know what I'm saying, for him to be posing and all this shit. I don't care. He need to go with another promotional company, get on his own or something. You know what I'm saying? Or get from up on the Oscar or whatever it is. I ain't got nothing against Ryan Garcia except that he's not fighting. You know what I'm saying? He's not fighting the best. He's not trying to fight the best. I ain't got nothing against the man. It's just that in boxing, you know what I'm saying, we praise the fighters that fight. You know what I'm saying? Who want the fights, who try to fight the best. Not all this bullshit we see Crawford's doing, all this bullshit, you know what I'm saying, with just talking shit and not trying to get in the ring and fight, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's always something. You know what I'm saying? Tank, you know what I'm saying, he's doing his thing. He's off on his own. You know what I'm saying? He's finally, you know what I'm saying, under his own steam. And, you know what I'm saying, he just beat Hector Garcia, who's a decent fighter.
Yeah, I wasn't going to shit on Hector Garcia, but I mean, he not at the top of 135-pound division.
And so now his main fight, bro. You know what I'm saying? With Ryan Garcia, now that fight's taken care of, and they're gonna concentrate. And it's the same shit with Errol Spence Jr. Now that the main fight is here comes some bullshit with Oscar De La Hoya. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Send the contract right now or the fight. Now, Terrence Crawford. Oh, they know I wanted a tune-up. I'm so tired of that kind of crap going on. Oh, the deal was bad. No, bro. No, it's a big fight that you think you're gonna fucking lose, and you don't want to get in there and prove, you know what I'm saying, that you're one of the four kings. That's what it is.
Yeah. You know, so now you get. Oh, go ahead. Go. Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought you was done.
Now, you know what I'm saying. You know, shit. I don't forgot where I was going now, but it just is what it is, man. We're dealing with a lot of bullshit out here, bro. You know what I'm saying. You know, I mean, I knew this shit was gonna happen. They get us all riled up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, man, Tank gonna fight Ryan Garcia. That's gonna be a good fight. You know what I'm saying? Then here we go with more of this bullshit. And you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, they pull the rug from up under you. And I'm like, man, I ain't never gonna believe in Ryan Garcia, man. I'm never, ever. That nigga, I don't give a damn what you say or what Eddie. You can say it's a 50-50 fight, nigga. I don't care. That shit, nigga, hey, I ain't getting it. Until I see them niggas in the ring, nigga, I won't believe none of the promotions. I ain't buying no tickets, no nothing, nigga, no t-shirts, no nothing. Because
he gonna not ride out in the 6th round, bro.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm gonna ask you a question though. If you was all right, because I see what Eddie, not Eddie Hearn. I see what my nigga Oscar De La Hoya doing though. Like, this his last dude though. You know what I'm saying?
he got Jamie what's his name? McGill, whatever.
The duck of all ducks. This nigga been ducking everybody.
Right.
I mean McGill been ducking everybody.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what part of boxing is this, man? You know, what niggas can just walk away from negotiations. You know what I'm saying? Make up a damn story. You know what I'm saying? Spread it around, and then now you got boxing influencers on here, like Blue Blood and shit, telling everybody, you know what I'm saying, covering this man up, trying to spin shit, and the shit don't even make sense, bro. You know what I'm saying?
What? Oh, go ahead. Damn.
No, I was just gonna say, you know, every time something come out about Terrence Crawford, here come Blue Blood. You know what I'm saying? What Espinosa really meant was, you know what I'm saying, the PBC was slow sending the contracts. And I'm like, bro, I was like, what the fuck is going on here, bro? I was like, come on now, that's not what Steven Espinosa said. Right?
Look, that's because we are slowly watching boxing fans become boxer fans.
No, I don't think. I think he getting paid and shit. You know, they must be paid that nigga a pretty good amount of money. You know what I'm saying? The way he go at it, the way he be all snapping into the motherfucking videos now, cause that nigga know he lying like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
You know how you know? Do you got kids?
Yeah, I do.
You know how when you catch your kid in the lie, you know, something like with my kid, with my son in particular, when you catch him in the lie, he stands on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though you backed him into a corner, even though you got down, caught him cold with the blood on his hands, he one of them niggas, bro. That he'll stand. He one of them niggas that you want to rob a bank with. You know what I'm saying? Because he'll stand on it no matter what. It's weird, bro. It's weird. But that's why I don't really. You mute it if you talking. But yeah, this boxing shit, bro. Like with me, I just take it for what it is, man. I stopped making videos on a regular because I just make videos on fight weeks that of fighters that I want to make videos on from now on. You know what I mean? Like this AB fight week finna come up. You know I gotta rep that AB. Salute the H Money. Salute the Cash Crypto. Salute to Marvin Banks. Salute to Elijah, Carl Brown, Bryce Bout. Everybody smash that like button, man. My man fell off. I don't know what happened. You know, I stay here. I stay here on the show till he get back. But the thing about I'm very biased against with the boxers that I like. You know what I'm saying? I like a handful of boxers, but I'm also a realist. You know, I like Terrence Crawford. You know, I like Terrence Crawford a lot. I like Errol Spence Jr. a lot too. But
your phone went out.
I just wanted to keep the show going.
Oh, go. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, my phone had died, man. I forgot to plug it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, you saw the thing with Manager Marty, you know what I'm saying, challenging Blue Blood to come on his channel. And,
Who's Manager Marty?
You don't know who Manager Marty is, bro?
Nigga,
Come on,
I only
man.
watch you, Knockout Boxing, Trill the Boxing Talk, and that's it. KQKC, Combat Toolbat. I only watch the people I only watch a handful of people, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't watch everybody else no more because it's crazy. Boxing is crazy, bro.
So Manager Marty, you know what I'm saying, he's like this. I don't know who he managing boxing, but he knows the business of boxing, and he been breaking down, like some of the lies that Blue Blood been pushing. And so, he was on, I think he was on Money. He was on Money's live stream, and Blue Blood stopped by, and somebody pointed out that Manager Marty was in the building, and Blue Blood was like, "Hey, man, I don't appreciate, the stuff you've been putting out there about me," and he said, "I'll come to your channel." So Manager Marty, he went onto his channel and he posted a challenge to Blue Blood to come over there. So, say he can knock down some of the things that, was said on Blue Blood channel. And Blue Blood, he didn't show up, right? So he's been doing these little things where he's waiting on Blue Blood to come through. But Blue Blood already said that he don't respect Manager Marty, and that he's not, that he, he's not coming to his channel. So I'm just like, what's going on in boxing, bro, where we can't sit down and talk about, our differences. And, we can't talk about our differences, without all the bullshit, It ain't the fact that Manager Marty, he's not a disrespectful person, He's not that person that's going to cuss you out. He's just going to pull up receipts of what you said and then, make you stand on it, right? So I think Blue Blood understands that he's that kind of meticulous dude, and that, that he don't want to, go over all that, he just want to keep doing what he's doing in his own realm where he's got control, right? And he don't want his name dragged, because right now his name is being dragged through all this propaganda and bullshit that he's putting out here. And the shit is unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. I can't even watch his goddamn videos and stuff.
Like I said, I've reduced myself to watching a handful of people, big dog. Like, I don't know nothing was going on in like the boxing, the boxing atmosphere as far as online boxing, because it's just like I've seen the most. I'll check the manager Marty out since because the way it sound like he is, he kind of got like a knockout boxing type of channel where it's just he's just simply spitting some facts and some of what he thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not agenda driven, obviously.
Right.
You know,
Right.
there's a lot of
He just, he just put the facts out there. You know what I'm saying? It ain't none of this bias shit.
yeah,
You
I'll
know what I'm
check him out.
saying? Right. What's going on, Green?
What's going on? What's going on?
What's happening, bro? What's happening? What's on your mind?
I'm here to counter your arguments against the fight with Spencer and Crawford not being made.
Man, that shit ain't being made. He went and fought David Avenesian, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we know that end of 2020 he decided to fight David Avenesian to get a fight in before the year ended. But what's going on with 2023 now? How come Errol Spence is not defending his world titles? Why is he moving up to 154?
So why he moving up 154?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because the WBC had mandated that fight. That's why.
but the fight was mandated at 147 though.
No, did you hear Steven Espinoza say out his own mouth that this fight is sanctioned by the WBC?
No. I watched Mauricio Superman do a interview on the Boxing Voice where he said this fight is going to be This is going to be a WBC fight at like a festival or something that they're having, and then they would determine by the winner if this would suffice as being a mandatory or who was going to stay at 154 and who was going to move down, et cetera, et cetera. There's no this is not the mandatory sanction fight for 147. They said
So
they would come to those terms
facts,
after the fight.
Yeah, with those facts though. All right, so we can use the voice of reasoning, right? So at what would cause this fight to be not the mandatory? What result would cause this fight to be not the mandatory?
Well, just for the simple fact, you have to do a weigh-in procedure.
No,
Am I correct in boxing?
What would have to happen though?
Like I said, I just seen the interview that Mauricio did, and that was how he detailed it. So,
no,
so
I'm asking you the question. I'm asking you the question. What would have to happen for this fight to not be the mandatory?
well, it's not at 147. He said 154.
But you just said Mauricio Sulaiman said the result of this fight is going to determine whether it's going to be the mandatory or not. Did you not just say that?
Yeah, yes, I said that because that's what came out of his mouth. You can go and fact check that. I mean, you can't ask me that because I'm not Mauricio. I'm just hearing the information.
I'm just saying. I'm asking you. When I'm asking you, I'm not asking you as the sanctioning body. I'm asking you for your opinion. I'm not asking you as if you were Mauricio Sulaiman. I'm asking you as if you were who you are. I'm asking for your opinion. What, in your opinion, what would have to happen for this not to be considered the mandatory?
For it not to be considered mandatory,
Yes,
like I said, the fight's at 154 and not 147.
So you think for 1 second he just gonna pull the rug? Mauricio Sulaiman gonna pull the rug under the carpet and be like if Spence beat Crawford, let's say Spence beat Thurman, Mauricio Sulaiman gonna pull the rug under the shit and say it wasn't the mandatory or what? What do you think?
I mean, like I said, that I think that's just to be announced because I mean that's basically just how it was. So from my perspective, you asking my opinion, that's just that's just how it's coming. But as a boxing fan, you know that's unheard of for a guy with 3 belts not to be defending his belts.
What do you mean by he not defending his belt? I mean I mean Crawford just did what he wanted to do, right? Y'all had no problem with that, right? He just did what he wanted to do, right? He walked away from negotiations. He took a damn deal with David Avenesian. He did what he wanted to do, right? You had no problems with that, right?
Yeah, but that was it was a title
no
defense.
problem. He had no problem with that, right? So now Spence he's trying to move up. He said he only wanted one fight at 147, which was Terrence Crawford. The negotiation didn't work. So he's trying to move up. He only want one fight at 147. He don't want those other fights at 147. He only want to fight Crawford for undisputed You know what I'm saying? Down at 147. So his thing is he really didn't want to fight Keith Thurman, but he don't want to fight Keith Thurman at 147 because he's tired of making the weight. Now, if negotiations don't work out with Terrence Crawford, he can stay up at 154. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's ace. What's up with all that background noise, bro? Can you cut the background noise?
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was making that much noise. Hold
So
on, real quick.
so he's going up to 154 because he's going to spin the block and try to negotiate with Terrence Crawford. If he on some bullshit again, he's going to stay at 154. That's why he's fighting Keith Thurman up at 154. He only got one more fight at 147. He only have to make the weight one more time because he's having a hard time making that weight. He's been at the weight for 10 years and shit, right? He's a natural welterweight. That means he's a big ass dude. You know what I'm saying? So he's trying to get up there to 154 so he can move on with his career. If Crawford want to come up with some more stipulations, you know what I'm saying, about making the fight. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? I don't understand why y'all confused about that. He's got a lot of mandatories. The negotiation stretched out for damn 6 months, bro. You know what I'm saying? They could have been fought. They could have fought 2 times within that time, right?
Can I counter that?
But Crawford went on to fight David Avenesian, right? That he just had to have that fucking fight. How you gonna fight? Why would you fight a David Avenesian instead of sticking out right there in negotiations and paying out? Even Stephen Espinoza just came out the other day and said the man stalled the fucking negotiations, bro, making this deal with BLK Prime. Y'all are not holding him accountable for none of that shit. This David, he should have never been in the ring if he was gonna fight. If he was going to fight a second fight, he should have fought David Boots, somebody of that status. You don't fight a David Avenesian, bro, when you're on the verge of becoming undisputed. You know what I'm saying? That is ridiculous, bro. That man should have never been in the ring with Terrence Crawford at this level. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to fight a tune-up, which he said he don't believe. Even Terrence Crawford said he don't believe in tune-up. He said tune-ups are for people who don't have confidence in themselves. Yet this man went and fought a weak-ass opponent. You know what I'm saying? Walked away from negotiations. Okay, he could do that because he's Terrence Crawford, right? And don't be seen as ducking, right? So now that Errol Spence Jr. is moving on with his career, doing what he got to do, everybody got a damn problem with it. You know, even though this man got mandatories all over the place, the man done stalled out negotiations until the WBA, the IBF is all calling for his head. You know what I'm saying? All because fucking Terrence Crawford decided that he don't like the deal and he want a damn weak ass tune up. Bro, come on now.
Okay, I heard everything you said, brother. Can I counter that argument?
Man, just go ahead, bro. Say what you got to say.
Because okay. Well, first off, let me specify with you. Errol Spence is the champion at 147 with the WBC belt, correct?
Ain't Terrence Crawford the damn champion, the WBO champion at 147?
Correct. Okay, so Errol Spence is taking the fight at 154. So with him being the WBC champion, he could have petitioned because the thing that you keep leaving out is Errol Spence, they got this approved by the WBA to move aside from his from the mandatory with Emmanuel Stanionis, which he's already paid Stanionis step aside money for a unification bout. So in the same sense, that could have been done for the Keith Thurman fight. So Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence.
How do you know that, bro? How do you know that?
Because
the WBA is a different organization than the WBC, bro. They are different.
But the WBA is the same. But the WBA is the senior sanctioning body. They are the first of the sanctioning bodies. That
don't mean shit. That don't mean shit, bro. That don't mean nothing. You trying to conflate shit. They two different organizations. They deal differently.
Did the WBA allow the WBC to get their mandatory before them? Yes or no?
Yes, they did.
Okay, so that should demonstrate the power of the WBA within the sanctioning bodies. Now,
that demonstrates the power of the WBC, though.
The point that I'm trying to get across to you is, brother, that Errol Spence is the champion at 147. With him being the champion at 147, if he was going to move up to 154, since Errol is the guy that says I don't do tune-ups, I only want to fight significant fights of meaning, he could have petitioned the WBC to move up and fight their interim champion.
Let me see your face, bro. Let me see your face on the stream.
Okay, hold on real quick.
No, not you. I'm talking to somebody trying to come up.
Okay, Errol Spence, he could have petitioned the WBC to fight Sebastian Fundora, who is the interim champion at 154, and they both are on the same side of the street.
But you missing the point that he's doing this with the and look, I'm only using my problem solving ability to say this. There's no proof.
Let me see your face up, Kareem.
I feel like he only doing this just so he can spin the block, just like counterpart say to hold his options.
No, not you.
Back down to
Kareem.
to 147. You feel me? Instead of, because if he go up there to petition Fundora for, you know what I'm saying? If he do the 154 move, it's like he's committing to 154 instead of bringing a 147 rival up to 154. You know what I'm saying? He keeping 154 stagnant. They doing their own thing versus so he can go back to Bud though. He going back to Bud, bro. He's only fighting.
I mean, he said he gonna spin the block. When did Errol Spence Jr. not do what he said he's gonna do? We only know one person that does that shit, and that's Terrence Crawford. That motherfucker contradicts himself constantly.
He did.
You know what I'm saying? Constantly. You know what I'm saying? Always trying to get over, always trying to do some kind of petty ass minute victories against this man. It's like, bro, just get in there, sign the fucking contract, and stop making all these goddamn excuses, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's like this. Errol Spence Jr. has fought everybody. He said he's going to fight, except for Pacquiao because of the injury. This man did. He went and got all the belts from all the different champions. You know what the hell did Terrence Crawford do but sit up there and wait to fight fucking David Avenesian? You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro.
Terrence Crawford defended all his mandatories because he couldn't get a unification.
What you talking about defending his mandatories? Fucking Lipinets ran him out of fucking 140. What are you talking about?
You said who ran him out of 140?
Come on, man. What's going on, Manager Marty in the building?
Yeah.
The man who shut down Blue Blood, the man who ran Blue Blood out the building, goddammit, up in the house. I've been trying to catch up and drive.
Blue Blood a part of y'all side though.
What side?
Blue Blood ain't part of our side. We ain't got no side, bro. We on boxing
Blue Blood a part
side.
of y'all side because Blue Blood actually believes Errol Spence can win that fight against Terrence Crawford.
That don't mean nothing, bro. That
Y'all
don't
niggas
mean
act like
nothing.
it's a side. It ain't no side, bro.
Absolutely ridiculous.
It ain't no side. Why is it a side, my nigga?
Manager Marty in the building, so I'm gonna let him shut it down. This man here this is the man right here. You know, he done replaced Blue Blood. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Manager Marty?
Oh, man, I'm feeling good today. Salute to everybody on the panel. Salute to all the viewers on this channel. If you are a viewer of this channel, Paul Boxing Counter, if you have not subscribed to this channel, I suggest you do. All of the ones that's viewing, because this is a good channel. I only respect those that do respectable things. As you all know at this point, I live by a certain code of ethics. And, no disrespect to Blue Blood Sports TV. He started with me. And I'm definitely going to finish it. Point blank, period.
Yes, sir. So what you think about this whole move? What's going on with Errol Spence Jr. going up to 54? This man here, he's talking to, I don't really know what his argument is, but you know what I'm saying? He said he's going to spin the block, and I think he's going to try to go back down and negotiate, but he's going up to 154 because that's where he only wants one more fight. He wants Terrence Crawford, and I think he's going up to 154 with Keith Thurman to help Keith Thurman not have to make 147 because Keith Thurman is in training right now. It's going to be hard for him to make that weight after being out of action for so long. You know what I'm saying? And I think Errol Spence Jr. is doing him a favor because Errol Spence Jr. never wanted that fight in the first place. And you know what I'm saying, moving up to 154 gives him a step into 154 in case the negotiations with Terrence Crawford don't work out. He could just move on. What do you think about all that, Manager Marty?
You're absolutely correct. I mean, think about it. And from the business perspective, this fight between Spence and Thurman is probably the only lucrative fight that either one of them can get right now, even if it is at 154. I mean, there's nobody else right now that can fight Spence and draw the crowd more than Keith Thurman if it's not somebody like a Crawford. So moving up, he's still kind of like honoring his mandatory in a sense, even though it's at a different division, so that he won't risk all of his titles losing to Thurman, which I don't think he will. But I'm just saying, it's an opportunity for him to not risk the title so he can go back down
That's
to
right.
147 to still fight Terrence Bud Crawford. So it's a business move on both parties between Thurman and Spence, but at the same time, he still want to maintain all three belts so that he can have the leverage to still fight Terrence Bud Crawford. My opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
And
never looked at it like that. I
My
didn't even think about him
my
not
whole
having
argument
the
was
ability
pull.
to lose.
My whole argument was pull counter that if Errol Spence only wants one fight at 147, him having his first fight at 154 professionally, him being the WBC champion at 147, he can move up to 154 and fight the WBC interim champion, which is Sebastian Fandor, which would be a lucrative fight, a fight that the fans would most likely want to see. With especially with Sebastian Fandor struggling against the last mandatory that Errol Spence fought for the IBF, and being Carlos Ocampo.
Well, the WBC might not allow that to happen only because this is business. And let me share this for the panel and for the fans and viewers and subscribers. When a fighter's ranked in the WBC's top 15 or any sanctioning body's top 15, there's some fees that the promoter and or the manager have to pay to maintain that level of competition. So the WBC is not going to allow Spence to skip over people like Danny Garcia, who just fought at 54, people like Tony Harrison, people like that has already, had a fight there already and trying to solidify themselves in the division because it's all about big business and money. I mean, think of it in this sense. They wouldn't risk having Spence fight for an interim title when he's holding the regular WBC title, where they can actually get more sanctioning fees out of him having that 47-pound belt, opposed to the smaller fees for the interim belt. You understand what I mean?
But in that sense, Spence wouldn't be relinquishing his 147 title because it's on hold it's on hold at this point due to them petitioning the WBA for approval for this Keith Thurman and Errol Spence fight to be happening. He would not be releasing his 147 belt. He would just be moving up in weight, and with him being the champion at 147, that should hold merit for him to at least get a fight with the interim champion at 154, which would be Sebastian Fandor. I believe Tony Harrison holds a silver belt, and I believe Charles Conwell. Shout out to Charles Conwell because he's from Cleveland, Ohio, where I'm from up here. And I believe Charles Conwell holds an intermediate belt for the WBC at 154.
Right, but here's a part. This is a big piece of the puzzle that you might be missing. I don't know your name, but it says G on your name, so I'll call you G. The WBC, all the sanctioned bodies, they have certain similarities in their rules, and one of those rules is that a fighter cannot maintain a title at one weight class and then jump up to another weight class or go down to another weight class and still maintain, let's say, the WBC 54, WBC 47. So what happens is if they allow Spence to go for the interim belt at 54 for the WBC, he would have to relinquish the 47 belt. He couldn't maintain both in two different weight classes, according to the rules of the sanctioning bodies.
Unless your name is Javonna Tate Davis.
Okay. Let me counter that, Manager Marty. Because with them signing and getting approval to go on the outside of what usually the rules regulate or the rules and the guidelines of the sanctioning bodies, I can give you an example of Lamont Peterson being the 140 champion for the IBF and him fighting Danny Garcia, moving up from 140 at a catch weight of 141 and a half, I believe. And the sanctioning bodies told Lamont Peterson if he were to lose that catch weight fight against Danny Garcia, he would be stripped of his title. So in comparison to what you're saying, they've already came to an agreement where they're going to put a hold on stripping Errol Spence for not defending his belts at the required weight for that requirement for the belt. So
Maybe that's a part of the deal, though. You know
you
what I'm
said what
saying?
now?
Because I feel like this fight is to satisfy both the PBC and the WBC.
Oh,
This is a
listen, ain't no question about it.
As I stated before, what Mauricio said, he said this is a WBC, this is a WBC event fight.
Yes.
This is an event for them.
Yeah.
Yes, it has to be. It has to be because they mandated him to fight that very opponent, and he still holds the belt. So basically, what Suleiman may not have said, I didn't see all of that interview, but what he didn't say is the fighter still has an obligation. He might have said it, but I don't know. But the fighter still has an obligation to pay sanctioning fees because they still hold the belt, irregardless of whether they're fighting this person or that person. But just because they sanctioned the bout for him to fight the mandatory that they mandated in Thurman, they do have an obligation to receive them sanctioning fees. So of course they're going to facilitate the fight.
And Marty, do you agree or disagree that they doing that? They the WBA agreed to this with the hopes of having the Crawford fight next to get the undisputed sanctioning fees.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm going to tell you all why. And it's very, very simple. And you can go into all of the sanctioning bodies' rules, particularly the WBCs, and you'll see this. They don't just, and I hear a lot of fans say this, but I'm going to educate everybody right now. They don't just take the purse or 3% of the purse of the champion. Guess what? They charge the challenger as well, right? So if you have somebody like a Terrence Bud Crawford who's going to make upward of, let's just use this as an example, hypothetically, let's say 15 million, and then you have Spence making, let's say 25 million in purse or percentage wise, they're going to come up real big compared to them having to get paid less for Keith Thurman compared to Crawford. So it's about business. It's about, and guess what? They're not the only two people that have to pay the sanctioning bodies. The promoter and manager have to pay them too. So they're getting paid 3, 4, 5 different ways for one fight. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're just trying to satisfy the fans, and they're trying to satisfy everybody else because at the end of the day, they did mandate Thurman to get the fight. Now remember this is as equally as important. They're all managed by the same guy, Al Heyman. So Al Heyman is not going to allow Spence to fight somebody that's on a lower level than Thurman to come up short with the revenue and then still not be able to fight the mandate that the WBC mandated. So they're trying to kill 2 or 3 birds with one stone, and that last stone is obviously allowing Spence to go back down to 47 to salvage the fight between him and Crawford. Good question.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the envelope. In this business, ladies and gentlemen, it's all about the envelope. This thing is all about money behind the scenes. It's not about, I know people always use the word politics, but I just like to keep it simple. It's all about the bread. Because if you don't believe me, watch this. Look at Adrian Broner, right? He was supposed to fight Ivan Redkach, and for whatever reason, between Ivan Redkach and Joe DeGuardia, his promoter, the fight didn't materialize. The man then went to a press conference and everything, right? But guess what happened? The same thing that happened with Broner and Redkach happened with David Evanesian and Crawford. What am I talking about? Look at how Hank Lundy, the replacement, had a fight already on February the 4th. Somebody put a call in, put a couple dollars up, and the fight was bam, happened just like that. With Crawford, what happened? He was looking for an easy win, an easy opponent. Guess what happened? They pulled David Evanesian, who had a fight on November 19th. Don't forget that. The bag was in.
International, it wasn't a championship fight for the international belt.
It was a championship.
European world title.
For the European world title. And guess what happened? They made a phone call, got the bag right, and pulled him right off that card to get this thing done. So it's all about the money. That's what this thing is all about behind the scenes, man.
So let me ask you something, Manager Marty. Do you think that the fight will ever happen? Do you think the negotiation? I think Errol Spence Jr. will spin the block, but what do you think the percentage chance of it working out? You know what I'm saying, between Crawford and Spence? Do you think it would ever get worked out? Do you
I'm
see a
gonna
way of it? Go ahead.
I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Like I'm on my own channel when I keep it real. Like I'm on, let's say I was on YSM Media, I kept it real. Monty Brown TV, I keep it real. So I ain't gonna change today. I'm gonna keep it real. I believe that this fight will happen only 20%. There's a 20% chance that this fight, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. Steven Espinosa, he really put it out there. They're
Yeah.
trying to salvage the fight, but they don't have enough confidence that Crawford won't do the same thing that he did with them before by prolonging it. You know, he's delaying some of the correspondences, and then basically he was negotiating with another company when he was behind the scenes negotiating, and you don't know what Terrence Crawford learned from, you know, the business model of Showtime, Steven Espinosa and Al Heyman, and we don't know what he ran back and told BLK Prime. So they still have to protect and preserve, you know, their business model over on that side, and they're just not confident right now that if Spence spin the block and Crawford come back to the table, they're not really confident that you know, that he's not going to do the same thing. Now, if I was them and Spence was my client, I would make Crawford sign an NDA right from the beginning. You have to sign a non-disclosure agreement. You can't go to no other network. You can't go nowhere else talking about our business model, talking about the ins and outs and the details of our negotiations. And then right after that, I'm going to make him sign another document that will hold him accountable legally if he jumps out of the window in the negotiations and play any games. That's what I would do, knowing the business. That's what I would do. But I don't think.
Can I counter that, Manager Marty?
Of course, absolutely, sir.
Okay. You say NDAs and non-disclosure agreements. They did not. They didn't even come on the cusp of that when doing negotiations with Canelo Alvarez a year before.
Well, there's a reason why, though. I mean, you would agree that Canelo Alvarez didn't go out and compromise information and negotiate with a different company without letting them know he wasn't transparent.
From our understanding, we don't know if Terrence Crawford told BOK Prime anything about the details of his negotiations with PBC. That was never reported. That's just an assumption.
No, I agree with you. What I'm saying is that is a fact, not the assumption part, but the part that's a fact is the fact that he never gave the other side, PBC and Steven Espinosa and Showtime, the transparency that they needed because he was actually negotiating with another company and he was misleading them, making them believe that the fight would happen and he was all in on it. And you don't have to take my word for it. Remember when Rolly Romero and Tank Davis in May, they had their press conference. Steven Espinosa said these words: "The deal is 3/4 of the way done." Remember, he said that. And he was going off of the energy and body language that Terrence Bud Crawford was giving off, that he was really interested in the fight, but they didn't know that he was actually negotiating somewhere else. And I'm not talking about the assumption. I'm talking about the fact that Terrence Bud Crawford didn't provide them with the transparency.
I got a question for G.
Yes.
No, let him answer that. Go ahead. I was going to let him answer that.
Would you agree?
From the information that I detailed coming from the start of the negotiations with Terrence Crawford and PBC, the first hurdle was the fact that Al Heyman presumed that Terrence Crawford had a certain business relationship attached to Daniel Cunningham, which would be deemed as an international crime boss. Mm-hmm. That turned out to be false, which held hindrance. I'm also abreast on the information that Terrence Crawford stated to the PBC that he would be fighting 2022. Second,
wait a minute. When did that happen?
When did what happen?
You said what now? You said something about like he let Steven Espinosa them know that he was gonna be fighting.
Well, first off, bro, I'm not talking about Steven Espinosa because from what I heard.
Well, I don't want to go rabbit holes. I don't want to go down the rabbit holes because we'll get confused. What I'm saying is he did not notify them that he was negotiating with BLK
No,
Prime.
no,
And
he didn't specify who exactly he was negotiating with. He informed
he didn't
them
specify at all, my nigga. Nothing.
he
You trying to
informed
make
them
it seem
that
like you trying to seem like he informed them. He didn't inform them of shit or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to put it in there like he told them. He didn't.
no, he did tell them that he was fighting 2022. That's a
But
fact.
they offered him. Didn't they offer him a fight for November though?
Yes.
Yes. I believe they said the last draft that they sent him. It was in November, but the fight was for 2023.
No.
It was January.
No. That's not what happened. Let me be clear on, because I don't want nobody to get confused here. And I pointed this out on my channel. Let's be clear here. In May, and this is from Terrence Bud Crawford's words himself, in May, which is a month after Spence for Ugas, they sent him a term sheet, right? That was in May. And then in August, that was the first time they sent him the contract. The reason why they send the contract after a term sheet is because most likely the party agreed to what was on the term sheet. When they sent the contract in August, that's when Crawford started making all of these demands. They still was trying to salvage the fight for it to happen in November. When Crawford made these demands and they started to acquiesce and revise the contract from Crawford's demands, they sent him the revised contract, which was final on October 6th, according to Dan Raphael, on October the 6th. And at that point, of course, we can't have the fight in November because I'm sending the final contract on October 6th. So I wanted everybody to be clear that there were three types of term sheets and contracts that was offered to Terrence Bud Crawford. And based on what Stephen Espinosa said, that he kept dragging along with the correspondences of agreeing and making the terms official. And so it wasn't about, oh, this fight was already planned for 2023. I want to be clear because I hear other people on different channels say that Al Heyman, PBC, Showtime never had the money, that it was already in their automatic plans to have this fight going into 2023 from the beginning. And that is not true. They had to make adjustments based on what Terrence Crawford did. And so, of course, on October 6th, sending the final contract, had he signed it, we would be talking about both of these guys fighting Spence and Crawford sometime in February or March. Because remember, Crawford don't have to go and tell Al Heyman and Espinosa that he wanted to fight in 2022. Want to know why? Because the WBO's regulations and rules state every 9 months he had to defend his title. So those guys already knew that the fight had to happen in 2022. They knew that already.
No, I want to counter that because Terrence Crawford he's a WBO super champion. He's not doing mandatory for 18 months.
But says who? Where'd you read that at? No disrespect to you, but where'd you read that at?
If you pull up the WBO, their guidelines for the WBO super champion Terrence Crawford, he was elevated to the WBO super champion. He's not doing mandatory. He's not doing mandatory for the WBO for 18 months.
Does it say the words 18 months in there?
It says 18 months, and from his last fight, his last mandatory order defense against Sean Porter from November 19th, I believe it was, or November 21st. I'm not clear on the exact date. His mandatory is due. His mandatory is due in May of 2023, which would be 18 months to the time.
All right, so let me ask you a question then. If that is the truth of what you're saying, and the documents say 18 months, then why was Crawford so pressed to fight in 2022?
Because he had already been out the ring going into a year. He's a boxer and he needs to stay sharp.
So you mean to tell me that when negotiations happen, it happens a year after a person fight, or does it happen 6 months to 8 months prior to they knowing when they're going to fight? You understand what I mean? In other words, is this. He knew that he was going to fight Sean Porter, and that was going to be his last fight with Top Rank, knowing that he would be a free agent. So why not set up a fight after that? Why be waiting around? What was he waiting around for a whole extra year? Because he fought 13 months later. What was the stalling about?
We'll see. You're using that choice word. When Ugas and Errol Spence fought, and Spence received his WBA title and told them, everyone knows who I want next. I want Crawford. I'm coming to get that belt. And that's when Crawford sent out the tweet. Let's go ahead and get it done. No more games. Let's go ahead
Bro,
and
what do a
finish
tweet got to do with making a fight though? Just the same
it.
thing when he said spin the block. That don't make sense, bro.
It's a verbal indication that I want you to be my next
why would you do a
opponent.
verbal indication over the internet when you got these people direct contact? It looked like a promo thing.
Nah,
It is a promo, promoting the fight.
We'll get in the ring and saying the fighter's name. That would suffice as the same thing.
Hey Slime,
ask you this, bro.
let Marty hash it out. We'll get on it.
Oh, go ahead, Marty.
Okay, I appreciate it. So basically what you're saying, let me make sure I'm clear here. So basically what you're saying is that he told Spence after the Ugas fight, yo, let's make it happen. He tweeted that. And guess what Al Heyman's response to that was in May? He sent him a term sheet, didn't he?
Yep.
Oh, okay then.
Terms. 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 Not an official contract. Terms to verbally agree upon.
Right.
So a draft can be presented. You're correct on that.
I agree with you. So that means that they responded to that little tweet that you're talking about, right? They sent him a term, and if they sent him a contract in August, that means he agreed to most of those terms in that term sheet. You would agree with that, right?
No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that because 5 minutes ago, we were just talking about a couple of the hurdles that were presented that PBC had a problem with. They wanted to make sure that Terrence Bud Crawford had no affiliation with Daniel Kennedy of MTK. So I'm pretty sure they went and did their homework on that to make sure that any business that they are going to be conducting had nothing to do with an international crime boss.
I know, and that's what. But listen to me. It's called due diligence in business, and I agree with you. They did do their due diligence. They would not have sent that man a term sheet to draft a contract for him if they didn't do their due diligence. So we got that part.
Okay. But Manager Marty, would you agree that a guy that's slated as an international crime boss, it would take a substantial amount of time to make sure he does not have any significant ties within the U.S. and on the cusp of he's been able to elude American law enforcement?
Yes, but
so in hindsight, that would take a substantial amount of time to make sure.
Not necessarily, no, because remember, the only reason why Al Heyman and them said that is because Bob Arum went on record in an interview and he said that he received notification on behalf of Terrence Crawford from Daniel Kennedy. Okay, so if Al Heyman and them was doing due diligence, they're not just waiting on the words of Crawford to tell them that. Believe me when I tell you, this is a multi-million-dollar business. They're not just waiting around. They're doing their homework. They're not going to send this kid. They're not going to send this guy a draft sheet or a term sheet without doing their due diligence, bro. Because once he agrees to those terms, it's on and popping at that point, right? And so I believe that they realize, okay, maybe he's not doing no dealings with Crawford no more. Cool. Now we can go and do what we do and advance this mission. Because if Crawford wanted to fight in 2022 and he agreed to all the terms, his words, not mine, he would have signed the contract, bro. But he never did. He never signed anything.
Where you're going, where you kind of fast forward because like I said, there was a couple other hurdles that were eluded before that, but if you want to fast forward to that point, then we can go ahead now.
No. Let's deal with the hurdles, because if you think about it,
I gave you the Daniel Kennedy situation.
Okay.
Also, Crawford alluded to Al Heyman having some personal issues as far as his family, where he would have to step away from them, actually, going further with the process or whatever the case may be.
I never heard Crawford say that. Did you hear?
Terrence Crawford came out on his live on Instagram and said that Al Heyman, his mother was having some issues. I don't know if they were medically or whatever the case may be. So Al had to step away. And
No.
I've seen no social media or nobody else come out and debunk that.
Well, from my understanding, Terrence Crawford said that while he was talking on the phone with Al, he wanted to come and fly into town with his attorney to meet Al Heyman, and Al Heyman said, I can't meet at that particular time because I'm dealing with my mother and her health issues. He never said that because my mom have health issues, I'm not going to be a part of the negotiation. I'm not going to be a part of advancing the mission for you to fight my client Spence. He never said that, and I don't know if you interpreted that, but no.
No, I didn't interpret that. This is a hurdle.
You agree that
this is a hurdle that Terrence Bud Crawford alluded to, which no one came out and debunked, and then we're just gonna I'm just gonna use general logic here. If it's a situation where my mother's health is at risk, that would supersede any business.
He wouldn't have been on the phone. Let me tell you.
Do you agree with that, Manager Marty?
I don't agree with that. And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Al Heyman is a businessman. I'm a businessman, right? If I own multiple businesses, right, and I'm conducting a negotiation with somebody, and I tell them on a personal level that, I got some things going on with my family right now, best believe I'm not going to still be talking about sending you look at what Al and them did after all that. They sent him a draft in August, and then they sent him a real contract in October. So in other words, even if that was going on with Al Heyman's family, his mother and everything like that, that didn't stop nothing. They still was advancing the mission. It didn't stop anything because he had a draft, a contract, and a term sheet all in a matter of 4 months. That never stopped anything. You agree with what I'm saying, right?
Okay. Well, like I said, I'm a man of logic, and then I have a thing where I like to play devil's advocate. So I'll be optimistic and take that note from your point of view. Now the third thing would be the no guarantee and the transparency that Crawford alluded to.
Mm-hmm.
I'll mute. Well, I'll sit back and then see what your perspective is on that.
Okay. Well, let me tell you this from a management perspective. If I was managing, let's say somebody like Spence, and Crawford was telling me, look, I need transparency. The first thing I would tell Terrence Crawford two things. First of all, you have no jurisdiction to ask for any type of transparency. And I'll tell you the two reasons why you don't. Number one, you're not the commission, because the commissioners are the only ones that have the jurisdiction. And this is according to the commissioner's rules. This is not me making it up. They're the only ones that have the permission or the jurisdiction to ask for transparency. Why? Because they are assessing fees, and they want to know exactly how much ticket sales that you have, the pay-per-view buys, the ancillary rights that you sold, the closed circuit to bars like Dave & Buster's and different restaurants that's airing the fight. They have access to those type of things because I, the manager and the promoter, will have to pay a couple dollars to assess the taxes and fees that they're going to charge me. So they have the jurisdiction to ask for transparency as far as the books. Secondly, Terrence Bud Crawford, you don't own your own promotion company. So you're not coming to me as a promoter. You're coming to me as a fighter who doesn't have the backing of your own promotion company. Why is that important, G? The reason why that's important is because if you're asking me for revenue and expenses in the books, that means you're a promoter and you're going to help me pay for the expenses to gain a profit. So if you're not going to help with paying the expenses of throwing this event, communicating with businesses, small, medium, and large, to get those sponsorship revenues coming in, et cetera, then I don't really owe you any of that. Now,
you're 100% correct with that. You're 100% correct, but I do want to counter that. But sorry for interrupting you. Go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Go
ahead, brother. Go ahead.
All right. And the next thing is, we talked about guarantee. Now, I'm going to let the fans know this. I never said this publicly, but I think it's important and relevant for me to do it now. When a fighter says guarantee, let me tell you exactly what that means on business terms when a fighter is signed to a promoter. A guarantee is not just one number. It's usually two. It's called minimum and maximum. That's what guarantee means. In other words, is a fighter is signed to a promoter under contract, and the promoter has in the language that you will receive a minimum of this amount when you fight for a 4-round fight, 6-round fight, 8-round fight, 10-round fight, and 12-round fight. And then the language kind of switch a little bit when you start including TV exposure, right? Because that has something to do with the fighters getting paid more money, the more exposure they're getting, right? So you have a minimum guarantee and then a maximum guarantee. So basically, the promoter has an obligation to pay the minimum, in between, anywhere, and then the maximum. So that's what Terrence Bud Crawford is used to. He's used to minimum and maximums, right? So he doesn't trust or understand how percentages work. But guess what, though? It's not my job as an Al Heyman or manager to educate him. This is where he has to have his own representation, his own management, his own person. I'm not talking about an attorney now, because the attorney's job is to represent him legally. We're talking about in the business of negotiating contracts when it comes to the business of boxing. If you don't have representation, that's not my fault, bro. You got to go get you a reputable manager. And no disrespect to Bomac, Bomac is not a reputable manager.
Can I counter that, manager?
Yes,
Marty?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant fought November, correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct. Okay, so going into that fight, Canelo Alvarez had just fought on the Zone platform, right? And he had did a record low as far as his pay-per-view numbers, so to speak. Going into negotiating an undisputed fight with a PBC fighter and Caleb Plant that had the was IBF title, I believe, right? So you just alluded to having a promotional company behind you. Canelo Alvarez did not have a promotional company behind him, and I do believe Eddie Reynoso Jr. was doing the business side on his behalf. Eddie Reynoso Jr. He's not promotional. He's not a figure in promotion. He's Canelo Alvarez head trainer. So I would like to debunk that argument when saying you do not need a promotional company to do a certain amount of business, especially when everything is clear cut. And mind you, let me allude to this.
Remember,
you mentioned sponsorship and you mentioned TV rights. In that deal, they gave Canelo Alvarez a guarantee. He got the bigger split of the pay-per-view revenue. He also got all his sponsors approved for the fight, and he got all the Mexican TV rights. Terrence Bud Crawford coming into this negotiation, none of that was alluded to. To my knowledge, I've never seen anything come out in the media and said that. And why I'm saying this is because Caleb Plant, he came out because after Canelo Alvarez getting all those demands that he asked for, he still pulled out of the fight in the 11th hour, and they had to come back to the fight, and fortunately they were able to get it done. So what I'm saying is, and what I'm debunking what you said is that Terrence Crawford coming into the negotiation, mind you, he's not backed by a promoter. He's coming in as a fighter. So a fighter that's used to getting the guarantee, which you alluded to and said, which is 100% true. If we're going to make this fight happen, and we've already agreed that my fighter is the A side, you're coming in at the B side. Why not give a guarantee so you don't have to, so the fighter doesn't have to ask for transparency?
Well, remember, G, I want to correct you on something. I never said that Terrence Bud Crawford needed a promoter to deal with the negotiations.
You didn't say that. You said
manager.
You were saying he came in. He's coming in as a fighter, and to be all honest, he has no right to ask to look at their books or their percentages of revenue, what they expect.
He doesn't, because only the commissioner has that jurisdiction, and only a promoter who's going to share in the expenses to gain the shared profit have the right. What I'm saying is, as far as, because you compared it to Canelo, well, I'm talking about management. See, Terrence Bud Crawford doesn't have adequate management. If you go back on my interview that I did with YSM Sports Media on August 3rd, I specifically told the fans when the gentleman interviewed me that Bomac and Terrence Crawford cannot out-negotiate Al Heyman. So what that was basically stating is he needed to get a manager. Listen, look at Tank Davis. Look at Canelo. They don't have a promoter behind them, but they're still making big money. You want to know why? Because they had good representation that set them up for when their contract with the promoter expired. It's no different than if Terrence Bud Crawford had a good manager. 8 months, this is what I would have done if I was his manager. 8 months prior to Terrence Bud Crawford's contract actually expiring with Top Rank, I would have had him a home. I would have had him a network. And the only network I would be able to pitch him to is ESPN directly, because I would use his actual numbers, not pay-per-view, but his numbers on their live broadcasting as leverage to be able to secure him a home, so that when we go to Al Heyman, 8 months later, when we go to Al Heyman, we'll say, listen, not only do we have our own promotional company that I help my client get his LLC and get some fighters signed to him, but we also have a network behind us. And guess what I would have had the networks do? Bid for the rights. You know why? Because watch this. Top Rank with Queensberry Promotion, they have Tyson Fury.
Correct.
And guess who Al Heyman have? Wilder. So now you got both broadcasts of both of these fighters from two different promoters hash it out. And that's what I would have done with Terrence Crawford being on the ESPN platform with me as his manager. And then we would have went to Al Heyman, and Spence is with Al Heyman and them. And we would have had them cross-market the networks. But because Crawford don't have good management representation, unfortunately, he was a free agent, a sitting duck who don't understand the business. And he's talking to one of the greatest business minds in the world, Al Heyman. That's the issue, guys. I'm not bird pooping on Crawford. I'm just saying I wish he had better representation, bro. That's all.
I understand what you're saying. I would also like to counter that argument too.
Okay.
You brought up the correlation between Bob Arum and Frank Warren co-promoting Tyson Fury. Now Tyson Fury is a fighter who's publicly came out and said and solidified his affiliation with the particular guy, Daniel Cunningham, to the point where Tyson Fury is not even allowed in the country as of right now due to his affiliation with this particular figure. Now in regards to your stance on the management of Crawford, BLK Prime, I believe, has been established since 2020 or 2021. I'm not exactly sure the date. I would have to Google it, but they are a streaming platform based out of Silicon Valley, which they use Terrence Crawford to be able to, spring off their invitation into the boxing world. So in regards to him not having a sufficient management enough, I don't necessarily agree with that point that you made at all, because to be able to leave an established promotional company like Top Rank and be able to be the main event on for a fighting card on a streaming platform that has that much financial backing behind them, and not to mention to be able to get a deal inked with a fighter in David Avanesian that is promoted by Frank Warren solely, which Frank Warren being the promoter for Queensberry Promotions, which is the biggest promotion company over there in the UK, and Frank Warren being the only promoter that has his own boxing channel on Sky Sports, the British cable system network. So the stance that you took as far as his management team, I totally disagree with that.
Let me explain something to you, and I'm going to be very frank with you and the fans and viewers watching at home. I would not be in the business of management if I didn't see so many fighters without management get screwed over. I am telling you right now that having a good manager in this business is priceless, brother. Never undermine the importance of having good representation in this business, bro, because so many fighters get underpaid and overworked because they don't have good representation, brother. And I'm gonna also say this, with all due respect to BLK Prime, they are not a force to be reckoned with to come to Al Heyman and Steven Espinosa and say, well, like Crawford coming back now. That's like Crawford coming back now saying, hey, I fought on BLK Prime. What's up now? They're newly established. They don't have the production that a Showtime has. They don't have the production value that an ESPN have. They don't have the longevity, so he can't use them. Now, it would be good, if he came to them and said, well, look, they paid me $10 million. Can y'all pay me more than what y'all was offering me the first time? That part might be relevant. But nothing else on him in fighting BLK Prime is relevant. And don't take my word for it. BLK Prime wouldn't even sign him to more than one fight. So what that tell you?
I would like to counter that because far as from the social media standpoint, I've seen that BLK Prime made a statement and said they exceeded what they projected to do with the event that they had Terrence Crawford host.
They didn't put no evidence out there. I'm an evidence person, brother.
Okay,
If you saw, hold on for one second. Hold on,
they're
let me
private
finish.
sector. They're not publicly traded, so they don't have to disperse their exact business to the public.
But wait a minute. I agree with you. But let's be honest here. Now remember now when you're talking to me, I'm coming from a business perspective. You mean to
I'm a little savvy in business too, brother.
All right, so we're business guys, right? Savvy. Now you mean to tell me whether I'm private or public, and we know we're in a social media era to be able to elevate our businesses. You mean to tell me if something was extremely successful, whether I'm publicly traded or not, I'm not going to share my reviews and my results? You think we wouldn't do that as businessmen now? It's not about being publicly or privately traded. You mean to tell me we're not going to say we exceeded our expectations, and guess what? Man, we came up about 350,000 pay-per-view buys. Now, we're going to expose that because you know why? We want to appeal to other fighters to come perform on our platform. It's just good business. It doesn't matter if we're publicly or privately traded. We want the accolades and the credibility. That's the word I want to use. The credibility associated with enticing other fighters. Look, y'all, we got Adrian Broner on our platform. We got the WBO champ Terrence Crawford on our platform. Man, we exceeded our own expectations. And watch this in business. The fact that they publicly said they exceeded their own expectations, that might sound smart to a person that don't understand business, but me and you understand business. Why would you exceed your own expectations when you paid this man $10 million? That means you already knew that you was going to come up in the red. That's not good business.
Like I said, you know, BLK Prime, this will be their invitation into the into the boxing world, so to speak. Like I said, the platform it hosted a number of YouTube savvy influencers and a couple other things as far as like people, cultural arts and things of that nature. But to you know, have an invitation into the boxing world. Me looking at it and being optimistic as I usually am, that would kind of give their invitation far as being a part of boxing, getting a promoter's license, and then actually winning some purse bids. Would you agree with that?
I'm sorry. Can you say your question again about purse bids?
BLK Prime hosting a successful event, which like I said, it will be their invitation. So if they come out and say, you know, they because like I said, when you come into business, you know, early on, you have a certain number that you set and go, okay, like we can go up under this at this percentage, or if we're able to exceed this, then we got grounds to work upon. So them coming out and making a statement saying this Terrence Crawford promoted event it exceeded their expectations, and them throwing a successful event, packing the Omaha, Nebraska, whatever venue that they had out there in Omaha, Nebraska, that would suffice. Okay, them putting a foot in and being able to win some of these purse bids that go on, as far as you know, mandatory sanctioned fights or whatever the case may be.
Well, it's really all about the money. It's really not about.
And as I stated before, their streaming service based out of Silicon Valley, and like I said, if you're a business guy, then you understand the significance of what's going on in Silicon Valley. Now the only thing in contrast to them and network television, which okay, let's use a Fox or Showtime for example. They are streaming companies, so they're more subscription based than anything. But the flip side to that is they are shown worldwide. Showtime is only available in certain regions. So is Fox. Would you agree?
Well, I would agree with that somewhat, but they are worldwide now. ESPN is #1 in worldwide, but let me tell you the production value that you're neglecting to mention that BLK Prime haven't provided then, and they still haven't provided now with Broner, is that ESPN and Showtime when they do a production, brother, you know they got Fight Camp, they got episode 1, 2, 3, and 4 of this episode, and they behind the scenes with the fighters. So their production value is not just the night of the fight. They're doing so many promotional things with the production leading up to the fight to anticipate the fight for all casual fans included. And BLK Prime has not done that with the Crawford David Evanesian fight, and even now, as we're talking now, even with the Broner fight, and we almost about a month away. So there's no lead up to it. You got to have other episodes of content to entice the fans to want to be able to anticipate a fight of a magnitude such as a Crawford and a David Evanesian. But so when I'm talking about production, that's what I'm talking about. And you and I both know that that BLK Prime's reach is not longer and farther than ESPN or Showtime, brother. And I know you want to take up for him, but I have a question on you. How come nobody didn't get the numbers yet, bro?
I mean, like I said,
what's the pay-per-view numbers on that Crawford fight with BLK Prime? What's the you cool with Blue Blood and them, right? That's your man, right?
No.
Oh, I thought that was your man. Because he didn't even come out with the numbers yet.
Far as the boxing media on YouTube and stuff like that, you know, like I said, I subscribe to everybody and I listen to everybody. Like I said, I'm an optimistic person, so I like to process as much information as I can without being biased.
I respect that, but I'm trying to figure out what's the BLK Prime numbers. So they're saying that they were successful with that Crawford fight, but they still haven't produced the numbers of the pay-per-view buys on that at $40.
I mean,
the numbers on that.
I mean, we know, like I said, you and me both know we both don't know, or you know, nobody outside of their initial company would know the number that they have projected to exceed. So. I mean,
No, I'm not talking about two. No. Listen, I'm not saying what the expectation was for them to exceed. I want to know the exact dollar for dollar number of people that subscribe to their platform and purchase the Terrence Bud Crawford fight. That's what we want to know. What's the numbers on that?
Well, like I said, you know, I wouldn't know that at all, brother.
So we can't say that they were successful in their production value if we don't know what the numbers say.
I mean, we can only assume, because, like I said, you know, we're not at any of their board meetings or, you know, whatever the case may be. So, like I said, so you know, like I said, as a company, when you start off, you got a certain number, you got a certain amount of money that you spend, now you're looking to recoup, and like I said, you know, realistically, you're not going to be looking to recoup, you know, your first invitation into something, especially like the sport of boxing. But another point that I wanted to bring out about the negotiation. So what do you think about Floyd Mayweather coming out in September and doing the Fight Hype interview, and him saying that when the Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence fight is officially done, he will be the one to announce it?
Right. Let me make something clear to you, because I you know, if I
We're getting lost in the weeds here. We're getting lost in the weeds, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
What's going on, King Judah?
Nothing much, man. I was just listening to y'all, you know, talk about this business. That's cool, bro. But I ain't gonna lie, Pooh, I have been wanting you to come on, because I've been listening to a lot of people panels lately and their shows lately, and I have wanted to address exactly what we talking about. No disrespect to the guys on the panel, bro, but man, I'm being real with y'all. BFTV brought up something that I agree with, bro. This is boxing. I don't give a damn about the business side of it. I'm being real with you. All I care about is who can beat up who. Nothing else matter to me, bro. Like we get too caught up on that, because what BFTV brought up was that a lot of people use that as their talking points. Like when you're trying to have a conversation about boxing with somebody, they'll bring up the money to prove their point, and it has nothing to do with boxing. You would tell him that you think your favorite fighter can beat his favorite fighter, and he'll tell you no, he can't, because my favorite fighter sell more. But like people so caught up on the business side that that's what they thinking about, but that shit don't have nothing to do with us.
Yeah, but the conversation that they having is about why the fight not getting made, and it just so happens to be the business of boxing. We all think Errol will win. I mean, he probably think Bud will win, but The reason the fight ain't happening is the business of boxing. So
But I don't
sometimes you got to
believe that.
discuss that.
I don't believe
Yeah,
that, bro,
but
because I done seen too many times in my lifetime since I've been watching boxing where a fighter, if he really wanted to fight a guy, especially if it was for something big like undisputed or his legacy, he will take a pay cut to make that fight. So I don't want to hear that, oh, Bud doing it because the money ain't right. I watched Devin Haney do it. I watched Floyd Mayweather do it.
and
I watched
and
some of my
and
favorite fighters do that.
and Bud even said that, you know what I'm saying, if he was in Errol Spence Jr. position, you know what I'm saying, that he would if he would be the fighter that take the less money, you know what I'm saying, and make the fight. And you know what I'm saying, everything this man says, he goes back on, and I don't understand why his fans seem to just ignore all that. Everything that we know about Terrence Crawford, you know what I'm saying, it's been smoke and mirrors, you know. And manager
Right.
Marty, I came across him on YSM, and he was just breaking down, you know what I'm saying, the facts. And I was like, man, this man here, man, manager Marty, man, he be on it. It don't be no bias. He just be talking about what's going on in boxing. And if you're not subscribed to manager Marty, you're missing out, bro. Because he is what we need. Somebody who's just gonna tell you what it is. He's not gonna try to be biased. He's respectful. You know what I'm saying? He's not one of these emotional dudes that be on here tripping, you know what I'm saying, about Bud or Spence. You know what I'm saying? He just giving you the facts. And that's why I follow manager Marty. You know what I'm saying? He's a wealth of information that we need in boxing. Somebody who knows what's going on the business side. And you know, that's why, you know what I'm saying, I'm glad he showed up today to kind of like, you know what I'm saying, get rid of somebody got some background, you know what I'm saying? You know, so to dispel a lot of these myths out here about what went on and what didn't go on, when it's very simple how he's breaking it down. You know what I'm saying? Everybody keep going on into these little weeds about, you know, this man turned around and he negotiated with BLK Prime, right? So he did what he wanted to do. He had the ability as a free agent, you know what I'm saying, negotiate with the PBC, you know what I'm saying? But what he did was he turned around, he went another way. And that's what Steven Espinoza said. You know what I'm saying? He turned around, he did something else when he was about to finish a contract with the PBC. Now they expect PBC to put themselves back into the same position. Somebody got background going on. Everybody mute yourselves. Everybody mute. So you know what I'm saying? So now when Spence turns around and try to move on with his career, now everybody's in an uproar and got things to say about Spence running out the division and, you know, all these silly things. You know, when we know Spence is the one who's been trying to fight the best fights, you know what I'm saying, at 147. We have not seen Terrence Crawford try to push for the best fights at 147. He haven't fought Ugas. He haven't fought Danny Garcia before he went up to 154. He didn't try to fight Keith Thurman. These guys were the top of the division. You know what I'm saying? Now this man has been at 147 since 2018, since, you know what I'm saying, he fought Jeff Horn. And nobody's holding him to no kind of standard, you know what I'm saying, to fight the top of the division. You cannot be at a division that long and not fight the top champions, you know what I'm saying, and be considered pound for pound number one, in my opinion, okay? So, you know, when manager Marty came along, I seen him on YSM. I said, this man here, where has he been? You know what I'm saying? And I've been following him, you know, reading. He's somebody who reads the regulations and tell you what's going on, even though we got a lot of people who try to, you know, dispel what my man say, you know what I'm saying? It's not true, bro. You know, my man is just telling you what's happening behind the scenes from a business perspective. And I know a lot of people don't like the business, but you see all these fights falling through in boxing, and manager Marty here is just kind of telling you why that happens and what's going on. You know what I'm saying? What may be happening between the sanctioning bodies, because he's one that read what they can and can't do, and what may have a champion go in one direction or another. And that's why I love this his content, man. It's just so strong. You know what I'm saying? I think he's going to be, you know what I'm saying, one of the best here in our boxing community, because he keeps us educated on what's going on instead of blind. You know what
I
I'm saying?
really appreciate. Hey man, I really appreciate it. And here's the thing, guys. I want to say this because I don't want to feel like I'm taking over the show or trying to
No, no,
disrespect your
no, no.
platform, brother.
I've been waiting on you for a while, bro. Go ahead.
Okay. You know, the thing is this, guys. I want the fans and the viewers and everybody on the panel to know I'm actively involved in this business, guys. I'm licensed in multiple states around this country, and I represent fighters through advising them and contractual. And I'm telling you, man, these fighters, I'm going to give you guys an example. I got a fighter right now who doesn't have a manager, but he wants me to be his manager. And they're trying to offer this kid $100 a round for 4 rounds, brothers. You understand? The cost of eggs done went up 60%. We in an inflation, and they're trying to pay this kid $400 for fighting 4 rounds. But then when manager Marty get in the picture, the promoter get a little mad because he already know my fighter needs 1,300 for 4 rounds. So don't mess around with us. We don't play no games over here with the fighters taking risks. You know what I mean? I'm actively in this business, and I see these fighters get jerked all the time. Not like jerked like, like in the music business, but on some, they taking punches to the face and they're getting underpaid. And the cost of living increase is not even happening in the sport. So they need good representation. And my heart goes out to the fighters, man. I was an amateur boxer at one point in time in my life, but this is why I'm into the business, man, of helping and protecting fighters, man. And that's why I'm so passionate about this thing. And that's why I get the rules and regulations out. I highlight it. I put it all out there. And I know people be mad at me, like they be inboxing me like, oh, why you exposing the business? Why you, man, I don't care, because I want the fans to know what's really going on. And I also want the fighters to understand you have somebody here that will help you. I've gotten people out of their own contracts that wasn't righteous. You know what I mean? So I'm actively involved in this business. Technically speaking, I'm not really a YouTuber. I'm still learning how to do thumbnails and analytics. I'm not really a YouTube guy, but I'm learning. You know what I mean? I'm learning to look professional with my thing here. You know what I mean? And I appreciate everybody inviting me on the platform. Appreciate y'all guys, man.
Hey, Manager Marty, let me ask you this. So the thing with Blue Blood, I think we all kind of shocked how he, when he signed up with BOK Prime, and I've just been watching you, you know what I'm saying, like just like totally exposing, you know what I'm saying, all the propaganda he's been pushing and everything. And I just want you to give us a little spiel. I know that's your channel thing, you know what I'm saying, about what's going on with Blue Blood, bro. Cause that was the #1 channel at one time. And what just give me your opinion on what you see going on, bro. Cause I done put mine out there.
That's a very good question. So let me tell you how this started. About a month and some change ago, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I think most of you are aware of that whole self-hate comment, right? So Blue Blood Sports TV, he tagged me in the live. I went on his show. Like, see how I tagged in here? I went on this thing there, and I didn't know he was going to say, I didn't even know who the guy was, honestly. And I'm not saying, how he always say, I didn't know who Manager Marty was. Yes, he did, guys. He was looking at my content, and I guess he got mad at me because I was talking about, some business aspects of Terrence Bud Crawford, just like my man G here. I appreciate you, G. You let me say my spill on Crawford from a business aspect. You didn't get mad at me and insult me and disrespect me. Well, Blue Blood didn't take that approach. I went on his live and I didn't know who he was. Then he started throwing shots at me. And I'm like, why this dude? You know what I mean? And then he started going on the you black guys, y'all small time YouTube channels, y'all black guys got self-hate. Y'all supposed to be bigging up Terrence Crawford. I'm one of the guys that he was talking about because he went on my content looking at certain things that I said about helping Terrence Bud Crawford. I just didn't know where it was coming from. So in an effort to find out who he was, I started going on his channel to see what kind of content he was producing, just to get a feel for who the guy was. And I noticed that this guy was saying some of the same things I was saying about Crawford and everything, I guess years ago or whatever. So I said, you know what? If he say one more thing about me or make a reference about me or anybody else that's small time trying to get our hustle on this YouTube thing, I'm gonna go ahead and let the people know what's up. I did one video of the guy, just one, and I was going to back out and let it go. He goes right back on his live, and he's still calling me names again. So I said, okay, he's doing it again. I'm gonna do this other video, and I'm gonna leave it alone. Every time I try to leave it alone, the guy goes and say things like, you're obsessed with me. I got a wife and 9 kids. You just trying to build off my brand and you just trying to clout chase. And I'm like, why is this dude keep throwing these shots at me? I'm a rookie in the game. The guy got over 180,000 followers. So what is it that he's bothered by? And I realized it's because he switched his pitch and I held him accountable. And I'm sure probably other people before me probably did it. I don't know. But he switched his pitch from being a regular fan to now working with BLK Prime and getting money, and now he basically traded and exchanged his integrity for a bag, because ever since they've been with Terrence Crawford, he's starting to feel some type of way about anybody that's talking about Crawford, like we not men and we not trying to talk about Crawford, bro. You know what I mean? And here's the thing, he gave me his word that I didn't invite myself to him coming, I didn't invite him to my live. I was on Monty Brown TV's panel. I didn't know that Monty sent him a link to come on. Monty didn't send him a link to set nothing up. Monty was sending the link because he threw shots at Monty Brown TV in his live. And Monty Brown sent him a link. And as y'all already know, Blue Blood, he took the link and he came on. And he said, Manager Marty, I didn't invite him to the channel. I actually kept my mouth shut the whole time. He said, when you do a live, send me the link. I'm going to come on your channel. So I did my first live last Friday. He never showed up. Now, he want to act like to the fans, I never knew nothing about it. I was in business meetings. Listen, guys, I inboxed, well, it's not called inbox on Instagram. It's called DM. I DM'd the guy on January the 2nd or 3rd or something. I DM'd him on Instagram and he never responded. So I was like, all right, I ain't gonna do that. I know how to do it. Let me do see how you did pull counter. You put the link in the chat, right? Monty Brown TV put the link in the chat. So I start realizing, oh, that's how you get people to log in. You gotta, because I was giving him notice, we can talk on the phone and really organize it a little bit. I'm a businessman. I want to organize it. But because he didn't respond, I said, I'm going to follow, Pull Counter's way, everything boxing's way, Monty Brown TV's way. When you guys that are experienced, seasoned guys, y'all put the link in the description, right? So I said, I know what to do. I'm going to give him 24-hour notice. And through all of my advertisements, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this. I actually sent him a notification so he can lie and say he never knew that we were supposed to debate and come on my live. He's not being honest. And so I did the live on Friday. We waited 2.5 hours for the guy. He never shows up. Then he waits till my live go off at 9 o'clock. He does a live on his channel at 11 p.m. And all of a sudden now he's a tough guy. So we're going to see Blue Blood Sports TV tonight and everything that he had to say about me behind my back. I would love for him to come on the channel, say it to my face, let's shake hands as men and move on. But all this calling me, making insinuations that I'm gay, making insinuations that I'm the water boy. In his last live, that's what he said about me. I'm the water boy. People sent it to me. I'm a water boy and I'm not really involved in the business. And, I'm obsessed with him. And I live in a linen closet with golf balls. I got people that I'm doing business with in this sport. And they see a guy, I got kids. Listen, man, my 2 oldest kids is 19 years old. I got grown kids that be watching this stuff here. And they hear somebody talking about their dad. I'm going to stand on my square, bro. It's just straight up just like that. You know what I mean? So, we'll see what happens tonight.
Hey, big dog. I need to. Is your channel called? Your channel's called Marty. What? I'm about
Marty.
My channel. The name of the channel is called Manager Marty. Just Manager Marty. And I'm actually going to advertise it and tag. I'll tag you in the Pull Counter so that you can when I go live, you'll see it. All you guys got to do is join me 6:30 p.m. I'll be there. Yeah. We'll be there live and live in color. Oh yeah.
I'm subscribed. I'm already subscribed.
Yeah, I just right then. The only thing, like I don't get. I'm gonna ask you a question about the shit, Manager Marty, which I know the answer to it. I just want the verification. Like when Terrence Crawford went to BLK Prime back in, what did he say? He said he went back in August. When he say
he said it was like June or July. No, it was early, but he was negotiating with him as long as he was with the PBC.
Okay, that's what I want to say. Do you think that he agreed to the deal? He agreed to the deal so he can get a contract from the PBC to leverage his deal with BLK Prime?
You talking about Crawford? Are you talking about Crawford? Okay. Did he leverage? Did he get a contract with PBC to leverage his deal with?
I'm saying, do you think he did that? Do you think that he agreed? Because he said he agreed to everything, which made me feel like he agreed to the original contract or whatever, or the original what you call it, the term sheet.
The term
you know what I'm saying? And then I'm not a business person, but I bought a house before. After you get to agree to the original deal, they print out the contract, send you contract, whatever.
That's correct.
And once he received that contract, do you think that he was stalling because he was leveraging his deal from PBC with BLK Prime to get the quote unquote 10 mil?
That's a very, very good question. And I do not believe that he was stalling for that reason, because remember, if he really wanted to fight Crawford, if he really wanted to fight Spence, he wouldn't have to use all these tactics to fight on a different platform with a lesser opposition. I believe that he was stalling because he needed Neil Marsh, the manager of David Evanesian. He needed more time to get the boxing control board over there in the UK enough time to pull David Ebenezer off that card. Remember, he had a fight already coming up November 19th. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So there's a process that the commission over there had to go through to be able to basically eradicate the entire card. They terminated the whole entire. You know how many people that lost money on the undercards of that fight? So they needed more time to pull him out for that card to be able to justify why he was able to come to America to fight in Omaha, Nebraska. And Crawford knew that because Neil Marsh told y'all, and I said it on my platform, it took them only 48 hours to get the deal done. That means somebody was offered an envelope in this business.
All right, so you under the impression that he don't want to fight. You under the same impression as me that he don't want to fight at all.
He do not want to fight Errol Spence Jr. in my opinion, because in the business world of boxing, when two guys want to fight, just like I think Paul Counter said this a few minutes ago, I'm telling you, they'll take less money. They'll go to another man's hometown. They'll do whatever they got to do to get it done. And when I see that Terrence Crawford is not making an effort, I'll give you an example. I said this on my channel. When he was in his hometown of Omaha, Nebraska, the man asked him in the ring after the fight, is Errol Spence next? He start tap dancing. Well, you know, we got to do this and the whoop, No, bro, you in front of your 8th grade teacher, your music teacher from middle school. You supposed to tell them, I'm coming back home. I'm bringing all belts home. But he didn't do that. Instead, he did the same thing Blue Blood did. He ran on his own platform on Twitter and all that, start typing with the fingers. Nope, you had the opportunity to say that at home in front of your mom and everybody, and you back down. He don't want to fight Spence, and I'm standing on that.
I got to disagree with that one.
I respect that. I respect that. What makes you think he wants to fight him, though? What makes you think he wants to fight Spence? Honestly, what has he done physically to show you that?
You want it from a in-ring perspective, or
no? He's a talent. He's a good talent in the ring.
A man perspective. What has he done as Bud Crawford, the man? What has he done that makes you think he wants to fight with Errol Spence? Answer in that way.
The interview with Ellie Setback in 2018 when they seen each other at the Maurice Hooker fight, you know,
bro, you don't got to go back to 2018, bro. Come on, man.
You said what now?
I'm saying you going back to 2018.
Let's keep it last year.
Yeah.
When the fight could have been mad.
Let him get his point across. I got a question for him after he get his point across.
Because I'm going back to the origin now. Errol Spence was like he's noted in numerous interviews saying, well, you know, Terrence Crawford, he ain't did nothing in the division. Terrence Crawford has to get a belt. And just like Terrence Crawford said, I got a belt, so what's going on?
Errol Spence never said that, bro. Why do y'all keep saying Errol Spence told him he need to get a belt? Keith Thurman said that, bro. I don't know why y'all keep
I can give you receipts on what I'm saying.
But why you going back to 18, bro?
Because I'm going back to 2018 because I'm trying to detail something to you because it's obvious that you've erased the past.
No.
Nobody erased the past. The man just
the past is 2022. What happened in 2022, bro?
You going way back.
Because you're asking me what you're asking me, what reason do I feel that Terrence Crawford wants to fight? Everything that Errol Spence asked him to do, he did. He even separated himself from Top Rank. Now let me ask you.
He didn't do that because he wanted the Errol Spence Jr. fight. He didn't do that because he wanted the Errol Spence Jr. fight.
Did he not say in the post interview?
He did that because Bob Aaron said he could build a fucking mansion.
That I'm not going to be signing back with Bob. He couldn't give me the Errol Spence fight.
Can you at least understand what we're coming from, bro?
Do you believe if Terrence Crawford wanted to stay with Bob Aaron, do you believe that he could have stayed with Bob Aaron?
Yeah, if he wanted to, yeah, of course, why not?
All right, and between today and 2018, how many times have you heard with your own ears Terrence Crawford out his own mouth say he did not want to fight Errol Spence?
I never heard him say he did not want to fight Errol Spence.
At least 10 times he said that.
I'm glad you said that. I'm gonna put the audio. I'm gonna find the audio and I'm gonna play.
He said it at least 10
find
times.
the audio. We gotta kill this narrative, please.
Bro, if you never heard Terrence Crawford said that the fight is behind him, I mean, come on, man. I did hear him say he said the fight was behind him.
So why you say you didn't know?
Can you at least understand what we're
So why you say you didn't know?
No, that's two different words.
It's the same sentiment, my
No, it's
brother.
not different. If
No,
Errol
no, no,
Spence
no,
still
no,
want to
no,
fight
no,
you,
no,
if
no,
Errol
no,
Spence
no.
still want to fight Terrence Crawford, and Terrence Crawford saying the fight is behind him,
No,
it's not two different things.
it's two different things. He said was the fight was behind him,
Greg,
or if they asked him does he not want to fight Terrence Crawford?
I
Greg,
got the audio
Does he
right
not want to
here.
can
fight
you at
Errol
least
Spence?
understand where we coming from, bro? Do you at least
Play the
understand where we
audio,
coming from,
Marty.
bro?
Hold
Here's the
on,
audio.
let's hear the audio.
Hold on, it's a commercial. It's a commercial. Hold on.
Bro, do you at least understand what we saying, though, bro? Can you see that shit from my perspective? I look like he don't want to
No,
fight.
he can't, bro. I don't know
Here
if
it is
y'all
right here. There
realize
it is right here.
he not trying to hear nothing y'all
I
talk
can't see
about.
it from your perspective because you're not including all the data.
I don't know. Sound like you got a whole bunch of stuff
No,
on
it's
there,
1
bro.
minute. It's a 1 minute cut.
Yeah, bro, we can't hear that.
Oh, you can't hear it?
No, it's too much feedback going on
Yeah,
from
Too much
somewhere. We can't
Oh,
hear
my
background
what
bad.
they're
noise.
saying.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
no,
sorry.
you
My
got
fault.
you got to
but
chop it up,
before,
bro.
but we all heard Terrence Crawford say
Let
he
me
don't
send you the
want that
link.
fight. We've heard him say it. I mean, many times. So that ain't the point, man. You know, it's like the
Bro,
man faced in negotiation. He had the ability to fight Spence. You know what I'm saying? It was the more lucrative deal. It was the best deal in boxing. It was the best fight in boxing. But he went off and fought David
David Avenese.
Avenesian. So I don't understand what the argument is. Why they keep trying to put this back on the PBC? We know Errol Spence Jr. always try to fight top competition, right? He is the man that went and grabbed all three of the belts in the division. That's what.
The only
Hold on, hold on. Don't
competition
cut me off,
on
bro. Don't cut me
PBC.
off.
Hold on,
Don't
let him
cut me
finish.
off. Let me cut me off, bro. We know he's the guy that always. He said he told Terrence Crawford way back before he even beat Jeff Horn. He said, "Look, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna beat the champions on my side of the street. I'm gonna grab those belts and I'll come back and see you." That's what he said, and that's what he's doing. So I wait. Somebody got background, man. Cut your. Okay. So he said he did what he said he was going to do, and he spent back to fight Terrence Crawford. Now, you know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford can make all these deals with all these other fighters with no problem, except for with the PBC fighters. Now we don't see y'all act like y'all don't see a pattern with this. Anytime there's a fighter that could give Terrence Crawford of equal talent or higher talent in the ring, the negotiations fail. Negotiations break down. You know what I'm saying? And it's like y'all act like y'all don't see none of that. Y'all act like this man always went for the best at welterweight. He's been there for too many years to not have tried to fight the best or make something work with the PBC side. That's where all the welterweights at. Not at top rank. He didn't leave top rank to go fight Errol Spence Jr. You know what I'm saying? He left top rank because his time there was done. You know, Bob Arum was spitting all kind of vitriol, you know what I'm saying, and tarnishing his name. That's why he left top rank. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, y'all missed the point, man. It's like, you know, he's in negotiations with Errol Spence Jr. and he left the negotiations. That's a duck, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can't call it nothing else. I don't care
Can I
what you
counter
talk.
that?
What can I finish? You know what I'm saying? You can't call it nothing else. You know what I'm saying? The man pay-per-views are terrible. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the man don't sell on pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? He has no backing. You know what I'm saying? So if you really want to fight somebody and you could get you get the rematch, you could go in just like Floyd Mayweather did with Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya was the man at the time. Floyd Mayweather might have been the better fighter on TV, but he wasn't the man in boxing. So what did he do? He took a 30 split, right? And so he went in there, he beat
Right.
Oscar De La Hoya, and he became the man. Why Terrence Crawford can't do the same thing? He's supposed to be a better fighter than Errol Spence Jr., right? Same kind of deal. So why didn't he just go in there, beat Errol Spence Jr., and maybe they have a second fight, or Terrence Crawford go on to do what he wanted to do? He got all kind of incentives. He could be undisputed at 147. He could be two-time undisputed champion, right? So and he would have made the most money in his career. So why is this man doing all his tricks and all this, with the fight right there before him, you know what I'm saying? Damn, a tune-up. He said he was against tune-ups, that you don't have confidence in yourself if you take a tune-up. That going back on what he said in the first place. EJ always came off accidents and fought the best fighter he could fight. So we know the fighter who's pushing for this fight. It's definitely not Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to explore all kind of other options. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get a crazy deal when he the B-side, bro. He has no leverage except for the WBO belt that he's holding on to. So, the shit is it's terrible. You know what I'm saying? The way it looks.
Can I counter you, brother?
Go ahead, bro.
Okay. First off, we need to first off, like from a boxing perspective, we have to debunk this that all of the best welterweights are on.
Bro, I don't want to argue about semantics, bro. This is things we know as hardcore boxing fans.
We way past semantics, bro.
Who better on?
Come on, G. We way past semantics,
I don't
bro.
want to argue about who the best is. We know who
because
the
you don't
best
want to
is
argue.
in the division.
Okay, do you want to argue logic?
No, I want to know why
that
he didn't
is
sign the
logic.
contract.
That is
Why?
logic.
He agreed to the terms, but he didn't sign the contract. You still haven't answered why he did
You're
that.
trying to split
That's
hairs
highly
and shit.
opinionated.
Nobody's here trying to split hairs. We're all hardcore boxing fans. It's certain facts that we know. We know that Keith Thurman. We know that Danny Garcia. We know that Ugas. We know that it don't matter if they defeated or not. They are the top of the division. Are they not? It does not. It does not, bro.
Stop playing semantics, bro.
That's
You
what
only
I'm
got.
saying.
There's only one guy on the other side.
Bro, you are
Bud
talking to
Crawford.
hardcore boxing fans here.
If you're talking the business of boxing, you cannot correlate an undefeated champion that is already.
Well, you said the business of
Yes, you
boxing.
can. If you talking about the business of boxing, somebody got a bigger name. It don't matter if he got losses on his neck.
Terrence Crawford ain't won no.
So when Pacquiao, when they was trying to make the Pacquiao fight, was he the B-side because Terrence Crawford has no losses on his record?
That is big fights. Sean Porter, who has been defeated, and Akel Brook.
What about Pacquiao?
What about when Bud beat them folks? What about Bud beat them folks? What undefeated champion fought at
This
147?
nigga, hold on, bro. This nigga got 39 fights, and he still need a step-up fight at 147. That shit don't make no sense, bro. That shit don't make no sense.
Bro, let me ask you this, bro. Is there anything Bud could do to make you think that he don't want this fight? Is there anything he can do? Possibly, because if it sounds like the answer is no, bro.
If he vacate that belt at 147, then I'll call him a duck.
He already ducking because
that don't even make no damn sense.
He held on for 4 years, bro. He only had one belt that he held on for 4 years. He's keeping it from Errol.
If he vacate the belt, I might get happy. I might cheer for him.
Do we call Canelo Alvarez for vacating his belt when he could have became undisputed at 154 against the?
Yes, we call that nigga Doug.
Yes, we do on this channel.
Exactly. We do. Exactly why.
On Full Kind of Boxing, we call that nigga a Duck.
Unify because he had a chance to unify and become undisputed, right? But he vacated.
You understand that? You understand that concept, but you don't understand the concept of not signing a contract you agree to terms with. You can understand that, but you can't understand that.
Look here, my name is not Carlos Hernandez.
What that nigga think he at, full counter? What he think he at, brother?
I don't know. My name is not Rodriguez or none of that stuff. He ducked.
You're not gonna be.
Ain't no victors around here.
He ducked. Goddamn.
Hey, let him go real quick. Let him go right quick. Let Paul get at him.
Yeah, bro. It's your time about up, bro. Cause you got too many dogs on here.
Because you can't beat me. Because you can't beat me.
Because
you we giving you grace, brother.
Nonsense, bro.
Giving you grace.
Me and Manager Marty.
That's all.
Manager Marty.
That's all.
Manager Marty.
Eat a dick, nigga. Eat a dick.
Bro, get that
Bro character. Bro character.
Goddamn time with all that fucking stuttering. We can't even get out outside. All that fucking stuttering.
Well, my thing is, I don't mind what he's saying, but it's like, these guys, they just don't look at the obvious. You know what I'm saying? They try to dig, they twist themselves in pretzels. You know what I'm saying? Reaching for straws. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you don't need to go through all that, bro. Just accept what it is. You know what I'm saying?
He went back to 2018, fool. This nigga went back.
Yeah, that's how you know. They try to ignore what happened this past year. They let you know. Once they start doing that, it's over. This conversation is over.
That man said he didn't hear.
Let me ask, since we got Manager Marty in the building, let's take it take advantage of his wisdom here, you know. And so you're looking at somebody mute yourself, you got background. I wanted to ask Manager Marty about this Canelo and Bivol fight. You know what I'm saying? They're saying that Bivol's going to come down to 168. And, you know what I'm saying? I just want to see, I think he's going to get screwed because they're already trying to set the premise that he's got to do more. He's got to come forward. He's got to fight a certain way to beat Canelo. I just want to get your thoughts on it, Manager Marty. You there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna tell you something. If I was managing Bivol, we're not going down to nothing. If Canelo wants this bag and this beating, he got to come all the way up like he did before. We ain't going all the way down playing with the weight. See, a lot of people don't understand that when these guys fluctuate in weight like that, it can be detrimental to them. You know what I mean? So when when the guy that just got off, he talking about, well, if Crawford vacate the title and then move up, we're not playing that game, bro. It's either you gonna fight the man or you ain't. It ain't gonna do all this up and down, like Canelo. If you ain't gonna do it in the rematch at 175, that's it. We're not doing all that coming down, up and down, because that's the same thing Canelo and them team, what they should have done. That was a great opportunity for Kovalev. They made him drain all that weight. You know what I mean? So that same thing Bernard Hopkins did when he fought Tarver. You know what I mean? This is the business of boxing. Make him come on down. But if a fighter is already at that weight and they beat the guy already, he don't have to acquiesce to his terms. Bivol beat Canelo, so Canelo should be meeting Bivol's terms. You know what I mean? That's just my personal opinion on it.
Because I already see that they're trying to set the tone. About Canelo. If you go out there and have a bad performance, he throw a couple of good shots. They're gonna say he threw the harder shots. He threw the the more effective shots, and I just hope Bivol, do like you're saying, stay at 140, 175, and go ahead and fight him there. But it look like he's going to go down to 168, and I believe he'll probably still beat Canelo. I don't think Canelo is still the same fighter that he was before. I think he's slowing down. He's looking bad out there, but they still giving him the benefit of the doubt. They tried to steal the last one, even though he got demolished in the ring. And but that's what we see boxing going right now. The popular fighters are the ones, except for PBC, because they still disrespect Charlo as undisputed at 154. He's not getting the accolades that he seriously deserved, in my opinion. And look like they're just trying to drown out the PBC in the way they doing things, and it look like they want to block them from taking over boxing. And that's just the way I see it. And I just think goodness that we got Manager Marty here, to kind of keep things on a level-headed way of looking at things from the business perspective. We got Boots coming up, and EJ got all his mandatories, gathering around him, and everybody's got a problem with him fighting Keith Thurman, even though Errol Spence Jr. said that he didn't want to fight Keith Thurman. Now, so we know that the business, of PBC is forcing him, and the WBC is forcing him to take that fight. So, I think it's good for EJ to take that fight and circle back around and try to fight Terrence Crawford, because, if anything goes wrong with the negotiations, he can go ahead and stay at 154. And I think that's a great move for him, because he's been so inactive here lately. It's going to, diminish his skills, and he won't be as sharp in the ring if he don't stay active sooner or later here. Messing around with Terrence Crawford. Go ahead.
Very true. I was going to say very, very true. I didn't mean to cut you off. And let me ask you this question, you guys, since you brought up being inactive. What do you think about Adrian Broner being inactive, but he's fighting a guy in Hank Lundy who just fought like a month ago, who's been active? I mean, what do you think about that, since you talked about, fighters being inactive and different things of that nature?
Well, I think that's a good fight, because they kind of both the same caliber type fighters if you think about it, as far as skill wise. But Adrian Broner has discipline problems. He has problems with just keeping his championship form, his pro form, and discipline. With drinking and all that and being in shape. He still got that little beer gut, and I don't see that fight really happening. Because he's pulling out of all these fights because he can't get his championship form. He can't get his sharpness back. I've seen him training, on Instagram. and things like that. But I think that's a it won't be a good fight for Bronner because I don't think he could win. Anybody that's really active. I think that's all you have to be to beat AB right now because he's not his old self. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he ever going to be his old self again. But he does draw more than Terrence Crawford. I think he is more of a draw than Terrence Crawford. We're going to have to wait and see what version of AB we get. We just don't know. But I don't think I don't think he'll ever get back to the form he was. But he's trying to cash out on his name, make some money. That's not really, I think it'll be a good fight, but I think Hank Lundy would probably beat him in his state right now. I don't think he is his old self. I don't think he got his mental game together. I think he just want to make some money and get up out the game with BLK Prime. I don't even know how that production would go. They just lost Brian Norman Jr. Due to their janky promotions over there. So, I don't have a lot of faith in that fight even happening. You know what I'm saying? So, but I would pick Hank to win that fight because he looked terrible in his last fight. I thought he lost his last fight, and the dude was, somebody we didn't even know. So, even though I wish the best for Adrian Bronner, I just don't think his head is back in boxing. I don't think he's totally committed. You know what I'm saying? And he's always had these kind of problems. He got by on talent, and a while back he just got by on talent and doing all that partying, and that just shows you what kind of talent he was to be able to do all that and go out there and win. But he really lost all the big fights, that he had. Pacquiao, Mikey Garcia. You know what I'm saying? He lost the big fights, that he was supposed to win. So I don't see him getting any better coming off, this kind of layoff that he had. And I think Hank understands that this is a good opportunity for him to put Adrian's name on his resume.
Yeah, very good observation. Very, very good evaluation. Can I ask you one question, Paul Counter?
Mm-hmm.
I've moved from Philly 5 years ago to the state of Texas and, been back and forth. Are you from Texas?
No, I'm not from Texas, but I live here.
But you're in Texas now, right?
Yeah.
I can tell because I've been there, I've lived there, and just your accent, brother. I just hear that Southern, I just hear that Texas in you, brother.
Well, I got the exact opposite. Since I'm the residential AB fan, I'm
oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's your pick, bro. Come on, B. Every time niggas talk about AB, I'm the guy to come to the rescue, bro.
AB got some loyal ones, bro. He got some loyal fans.
AB and keep Thurman.
That's okay.
On my two
I like
dudes,
AB.
you feel? But I think for real, Hank Lundy is a dangerous fight considering him because of his activity. And I get when fans say that AB let them down because he also let me down. But he fought some fights he had no business in being in the ring with. I feel like he had no business being in the ring with Marcos Maidana. He had no business being in the ring with Manny Pacquiao, because Adrian Bronner is a 140-pound fighter. You know what I'm saying? But he was a 140-pound fighter. Now at 33, 32 years old, he's in his prime. He could. I don't know if all the alcohol abuse, because alcohol add age to you, what I'm saying? I don't really know what he's gonna look like in the ring. And Paul Counter said that he was going off of his what'd you say he was going off his what? His natural ability?
Yeah, his natural abilities, gifts.
I think that he was strictly going off of skill. I don't think it was natural ability. I think it was skill because in my mind, natural ability would be something like knockout power or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
He do. He got power and he got power. He got speed. That's all he got.
Yeah, but his
hand speed.
Yeah, but a lot of his knockouts, if you watch his knockouts, a lot of it come off counterpunching, which I equate to IQ. You know what I'm saying? But everybody got their own opinion. You feel me? I'm not gonna debate because I'm under the disappointed in AB too. But I think he's gonna beat Hank Lundy, and I think this is the start of the AB, the next chapter. Of AB not gonna be the AB that's 20 years old. He's gonna be the successful AB that's 30 years old.
You realize we say that every fight about AB? We say that every fight about AB.
Sure do.
Hey man, my brother can't stay out of jail, but I still love him.
Yo, like this
we say that every fight about AB.
I got a different opinion on that. I'm kind of with the guy who just spoke. Man, I think AB gonna win the fight, and to me, it just come down to I think that Adrian Brown's just a naturally better fighter than Lundy. I think that it's gonna be a hard fight because, like you say, he coming off a layoff, and I don't know how true it is, but I was flipping through channels where I watch almost everybody's YouTube channel when they talk about boxing, and somebody was saying that AB admitted in the interview that he drinking right now in training camp.
No, he said he was drinking his last training camp. That's why.
Okay, I got you. Oh, here's the last one. Okay, well, I just think that AB gonna get in there. We may see that good because for whatever reason he can't get rid of that good. I think we're gonna see that good. I think we're gonna see him get hit more. I just don't think Lundy gonna be the guy to beat Adrian Brown.
Okay, let me get some of these super chats. I've been enormous super chat. What's going on, Christopher Schaefer? Thank you for that $5 super chat. He says, Bud first tweet after Uga Spence was him saying he wanted to fight Charlo. He said nothing about EJ after EJ called him out the ring. Facts. And let me see. Mute your mic. Yeah. Let me see. Let me get some more of these super chats out the way. And what's going on, D-Town? He said, let's cook. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. I got to highlight it. Hold on. I got to highlight it. He said, let's cook. And let me see. Cooking with Frank says, he said, he said, don't want that fight because that. Oh my God. Why he ain't signed. Well, y'all crazy, boy. Y'all crazy, man. Y'all crazy with shit, man. Come on. Y'all crazy here. Jay Wash, thank you for that $9.99. He says, oh God, bro, come on, y'all, get your ass out of here.
Going to hell. Going to hell.
I tell y'all what, man.
Oh man, boxing fans different.
Yeah, y'all crazy, man. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think Hank could get him, man. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the layoff. If he was the old AB, if he was in shape, top shape, and he, you know what I'm saying, wasn't going back and forth, you know what I'm saying, with his mental, issues, whatever, emotional issues, whatever it is, I think he'd wash. I think he'd wash Hank. You know what I'm saying? Because Hank ain't the quality fighter that AB is, but we know that AB ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it is.
You think Floyd having this fight on the same day as AB gonna fuck with AB mentally? Think that's gonna get him a little unfocused?
Nah, I don't think AB cares about that kind of stuff. He just want to get paid. You know what I'm saying? Right now, he's just trying to rebuild himself, get himself back into the game. I don't understand why he keep asking Floyd for a favor and Floyd don't mess with him like that. That's kind of delusional to me.
That's one of his heroes. You know how it's like a kid wanting their daddy around.
Well, I mean, look like he would have. Not said some of the things he said in the past if he wanted to like really do business with Floyd. If you cool with Floyd, then you wouldn't be busting out Heyman and the PBC and saying the things that he said. And if you're a businessman, you got to politic a little bit.
Yeah, but
what I'm saying?
AB, he ain't really business minded, and we talked about it. He emotional, man.
What I'm saying is
he ain't really well put together. So when he get his feelings hurt, he want to do that run straight to the internet.
Well, you can't be mad, nigga. Number one, when it comes to the hand that feeds you, you know what I'm saying? They gave him amp opportunity to make money, you know what I'm saying, over at the PBC, and it was just AB and his personality that kind of messed that up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how Al or Floyd taking it, but you can't ask for no damn $200 million fight, and you know what I'm saying? You done rant their name to the dirt.
What he had said about him that one time, where he said he like one of them crackheads.
He killing himself, right? I mean, AB could have been until they start saying he was like Floyd Mayweather. That's when his career start going down. When they start saying he the next Floyd Mayweather, and
he start hanging with Floyd.
Right? Floyd caught them gloves. See, his camp caught those gloves, and I think if Floyd would have been with him, he would have caught them Madonna gloves, and he wouldn't have got Falumaloon the way he got Falumaloon. You know what I'm saying?
Took his confidence out. You had said something about he remember he was saying how Al and them taking his money and shit, and you was saying how he like one of them crackheads that wants somebody to hold his money, and he get mad and shit.
Yeah, come back for it later, right? Because whatever he was on, cause I seen him on videos, gambling with big money in the room with yellow, what's his name, Yellow Beezy or whatever his name is, and they just gambling. And I ain't got nothing against, but you can't complain once your money start running dry. You know what I'm saying? You can't blame the PBC on your own failures. You got to take some accountability. You know what I'm
It
saying?
seems like he don't got no self-awareness still.
Right. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
getting game ran on you, thinking
Right.
everything's a joke.
But one fight nobody's talking about is this damn David Benavidez and Caleb Plant fight.
When
I
that
don't
fight
understand it. That's gonna. I don't know exactly when it is. You know when that is, Manager Marty?
What's that, Paul?
The David Benavidez and the Caleb Plant. That's good. That's a damn good fight,
I
y'all.
heard it was gonna be March the 13th or March 15th or something. I heard they got it signed for March. That's what I heard.
Who y'all got?
So that's gonna
I
be a
keep
damn.
going back and forth on that.
Who y'all got?
I'm sure. I think that Caleb Plant has more technical and tactical skills than Benavidez. Benavidez can throw good combinations, but I see him lifting up his feet too much instead of planting that feet and sitting down on it. And I see that if Caleb Plant can get on the inside and fight him like he fought Darrell, I was at that fight too when he knocked Darrell out, but in Brooklyn. But I think that Caleb can outbox him, but I don't think Caleb. I don't know where you get this extra knockout power from, but I don't think he should exchange with him. I think he should just box him and, like he tried to do Canelo, stick and move, roll the punches and get out of there. But if he tried to exchange with Benavidez, I think Benavidez can clip Plant, but I still think it's like 50-50. That's a hell of a fight, y'all. That's going to be a good
is.
one.
Yes, it is. And one more thing before I have to get up out of here, go get a load. What's your assessment of Jerron Boots Ennis? What is your assessment of him as far as being a threat to Terrence Crawford and a threat? How you think those fights would go with Terrence Crawford and EJ, and what do you think of him overall as a fighter?
Well, I know Boots personally. I know his dad, Mr. Bozy. I'm probably one of the only people in Philly that call him Mr. Bozy. But those guys are good guys, and it doesn't matter how I feel about them as people. And I'm from Philly. I got to keep it all the way 100. Boots did not look good in that fight against Karen. I forgot to pronounce the guy's name, but the guy Karen, and he was so anxious to just knock him out and put in a good performance because I believe Boots was under a lot of pressure. In DC, next door to Philly, you know what I mean? He had everybody in the crowd, But I think that he needs to work on going to that body more to slow the fighters down so he can cut off the ring and get those guys out of there who have good footwork like Karen. I would say I would like to see him fight like another fighter, not like somebody like a Thurman or somebody got a little name real quick, basically another stepping opposition before he
a former champion, right?
A former champion, yes, before he fights a Crawford and Spence. Now I have to defend Boots in this way. He won't be able to fight Spence and Crawford the same way he did Karen because neither one of those guys fight like that. You understand what I mean? So styles make fights too in his defense.
Right.
But at the same time, I would want to see him fight maybe a former champion, get some more experience, and then I think he'll be ready. Bottom line is he is the next thing in boxing. He is very special as a talent. He got all the goods, but he just got to work on cutting that ring off a little bit better and just making adjustments in the ring because he tried to make adjustments by switching his stance from orthodox to southpaw every other round, southpaw to orthodox. But it wasn't helping. So that means that he did some other adjustments. And he wasn't listening to Mr. Bozy, too. I heard him in the corner. Mr. Bozy was giving him some good advice. But sometimes, a lot of guys, especially in Philly, because I trained in the gyms back in the day, we have a lot of pride here in Philly. And sometimes it's hard for Philly to keep it 100 and say, nah, Boots ain't look right. Instead of just blaming the other guy. Oh, he was running. No. He was evading. That was his.
He went out. Did he go out? Did he go out on air?
Yeah. I thought that was just me. You there,
game plan, and he made Boots look like he was an amateur, and Boots got to make adjustments. That's all. I still got love for Boots, but we just got to keep it on it. You know what I mean? But I think he's still a champion.
Yeah, he keep coming out. But
he was cooking too.
He cooked the same way I be cooking. You feel me, pull counter?
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, man, got to hold it accountable. He ain't looked that good in this last one, but we're not we're not
we're not
gonna throw him.
He fell off.
Yeah, Boots good, bro. I'm with the same. I've been saying the same shit about Boots for weeks. He got to fight somebody else. Don't put him in the ring with no top. The best after that fight, bro.
Hey, y'all, I got to get out of here. I got to go grab his load. You know what I'm saying? And well, I'm glad this was unexpected. What's going on, upper echelon? You just missed it, bro. I got to get out of here now.
All right, big dog.
All right, man. I appreciate everybody stopping through. This was a great cook, man. Man, I wish you know how I get down. So, but I wouldn't go if I didn't have to go. But I'll see you guys in the next one. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna be driving a long way, so it's probably be in a couple of days.
Hey man,
you know what I'm saying?
hit me up, man. Be safe out there, big dog. Be safe. Like if you get tired or whatever, just hit me up, man. If you need somebody to holler at you when you're on the road, B.
Hey, Cooking with Frank says, "Tobo said, poo, you gotta bring home." Y'all stupid, man.
Shit.
He said, upset, yeah, man.
Sampling the records.
That fool was getting leg work on, yeah, man. Hey,
it sounds like my dude, the boxer for Harlem Nights.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro. Hey, but we'll cook some more, man. I just got to get this load, man. I appreciate everybody stopping through. You know what I'm saying? This has been Full Counter Boxing. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and see you guys in the next one, man. Peace, y'all.
Peace.